Good Thursday morning and welcome everybody to another edition of the SportsVisions Morning Show. I am Walter and Betty Jones's baby boy, Daryl DJ Jones. His Coach Bush's grandson is in the building. Thrift Barringer, good morning. How are you, sir?
Great morning, DJ. Ready to rock and roll on this absolutely beautiful Thursday.
You already got your 3K mile walk in, and you got your push-ups, your sit-ups done. Man, you've done your – oh, my God, boy, you got it. You're ahead of the ball game, huh?
You must be talking about another Thrift Barringer. Definitely
yes.
Me.
Good morning, everybody out there, man. It's Thursday, Thrift. One more day. We've got 24 hours, man. It's the weekend, baby. But we're here today, this Thursday morning, and we're excited that we have the opportunity to help you get your day started. And, again, we wouldn't have it any other way. Thrift, what do you got on slate today? I know you had a late night last night. First of all, let's just start with the night with the show last night. How did it go?
It went great. Had Damian Daniels on, had Dana Barker on. Both guys have been on this SportsVisions show. Had Mike Frost on, kind of broke down some basketball rankings. Richard and Tyler did soccer rankings, made for an hour-and-a-half show. Usually that's about 45 minutes longer than we normally go, but we hadn't done one this week, so it was good to do. And we got 7 baseball games we'll be doing later on today.
You talked to Coach Damian Daniels. I know he's excited and ready to start the season on next Thursday. 1 week from today. Did it sound like he was everything was all in place?
He was, and then he brought me some souvenirs that I got to keep, 2 footballs, including one of them being a gold football, which is what they're rolling out for the first time this year. And the rule is that each team, once per half, can roll out that gold ball, and if they throw a touchdown pass, it is worth 2 touchdowns. So if they're down 35-7, they roll out that gold ball. Thing is, I did not ask, and I should have, if throw an interception, is that 2 touchdowns for the other team? But I do like the rule. It will allow more fun. Games won't be blowouts, and I think that was the one thing that, especially with Dame admitted to it too, we don't want a bunch of 83-0.
Yeah.
We want a competitive ball, and this allows teams, if they're down, to get a quick 2 touchdowns in one play and allow them back in the game.
Well, it's creative. It's something new. I like it. I like trying new things, and kind of sort of if the NBA, if you after a certain point and you're down so many points, instead of 3 points, it becomes a 4-point line. And I understand. I get it.
Right. They got to add some new flair to it. Again, yes, it's competitive, but don't forget this is for entertainment of the fans, and got to have a fun brand of football.
Let's do this, Thrift. Let's go ahead and say good morning to everybody out there that is joining us via Facebook Live as well as YouTube. We appreciate the fact that you allow us to help you get your day started. We wouldn't have it any other way. We don't take you for granted because we are here to, of course, inform, educate, and entertain you on the goings on in the world of sports. And the fact of the matter is that we love you and we love what we do. And for all of our friends out there, Thrift, in of course, WLTC HD2 SportsVisions 921 land, we love you. But it ain't a damn thing you can do about it.
Hello, somebody.
Thrift, let's get this party started. Hey, man, we got an exciting lineup, and I'll give that to you in just a little bit. But we got a Clingstones victory, Thrift. Hey, man. And, of course,
finally,
just like last year, pretty much the same game of last year, same time frame anyway. But the Clingstones were able to go down to Montgomery and get their first victory. And again, I can breathe a little bit easier now. 72 over the Biscuits. Lisandro Espinoza and Ambiorius Tavares both homered. And again, the Braves' number 14 prospect in the organization, he was pitcher Herrick Hernandez. He came away with the victory.
Yeah, I'm starting to think maybe the good luck charm was playing 11 o'clock during the day. Good win. Got to hear Jack Johnson on the call, and Clingstones fans can now breathe a sigh of relief. They're not going to go 0-162 or 0-135, whatever it is, the amount of games they played this year. So let's see if they can continue and have a winning streak.
Absolutely. And, of course, Augusta, all eyes and ears are on Augusta, man. I know the 90th Augusta Nationals tournament, man, one of the premier, not one of the premier golf tournament in the world. It's right here in our state, right down the road. And, of course, we got a guy that actually checks in with us on a couple days a week. He's the sports director over at WRBL, but he is boots on the ground in Augusta. Jack Patterson, looking forward to talking to him.
Yeah, JP, guy that's done a lot of great things for WRBL. I think he's back now because he's got to cover a lot of things here locally. But looking forward to hearing how his trip to Augusta went.
And while we're talking about it, another guest who can give us a little bit more insight, a little bit that we could peel back the layers. We can go backstage, go behind the curtains, and all that good stuff. He's the only he's a guy that is a contributor, regular contributor on our show, and been with us for quite some time. But he is one of only 3 African American PGA caddies on the PGA Tour. But Cedric Lamar is going to check in, man, and hopefully we'll have some questions that we can relate for the SportsVisions Nation, because you know what, sometimes people don't understand golf, but you know what, you don't ask questions. What questions don't you that you want to know that we can ask? Of course, Cedric, who is on the PGA Tour now. I don't think he's working. I don't think one of his golfers, made the cut for Augusta, but he certainly can give us a lot of details about how the Masters differs from the other tours around the world, and what makes the Masters so great with regards to these golfers, and why it's held in such prestige.
Yeah, I'm with you, DJ, and I look forward to talking with him. And the Masters is I think the number 1 golf tournament in the world. It's one of the most, especially right after the NCAA tournament, one of the more fun 4-day events that in any sport that we have, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes down.
As great as a game as it is, and as great and as most prestigious as the Masters is, we have a homeboy, a local guy, Larry Mize, who won the Masters. I believe it was 87 or 8, back in the 80s that he won the Masters, won a green jacket. But, we talk about all the professional athletes that we have from in and around this area. But, hey, Larry Mize is a Chattahoochee Valley Hall of Famer, and he's another one of those guys that we can take great pride in and saying, hey, look, he has a green jacket.
Yeah, he does, and that guy's from this area too, so respect what he's been able to accomplish in his career, looking forward to having on our guy, Cedric Lamar.
So we got Jax, who is boots on the ground, WRBL sports director, who is in Augusta. Of course, we got Cedric Lamar, who is a PGA Tour caddy. And, of course, you know what? The biggest thing in golf right now, yes, it's the Masters, but it's, a fog, a smog, a little haze that's floating around the area is Tiger Woods, and the talk of him, and we need to pray for Tiger, and we want Tiger, we want the best for Tiger, but right now, one of the premier golfers of all time is in shambles, and hopefully he's getting the help he's needed. But the addiction situation with the painkillers and all the opioids, whatever it is that he's on, I got an opportunity to get in touch with some people that hopefully can help us, you and I, Thrift, as well as the SportsVisions Nation, understand kind of what he's going through, because obviously we're compassionate, we care, we love Tiger, and we love folks that have issues that sometimes they can't control. But this addiction thing is heavy. So we have addiction coach from New Horizons, John Burdeshaw. He'll be on to talk about that lifestyle, that experience, what it's like to be addicted, so that we can not necessarily feel sorry for Tiger, but we can understand him a little bit more, because this is something that it's a lot easier than say, well, he's a billionaire and he's got this and he's got that, he's got jets. No. He has an addiction problem, and that's I don't care if you're a sex addict, a food addict, a drug addict. That's mental illness in some sense.
Yeah, no doubt, and that's why I like being able to go behind the scenes. We've had many guys on and talking about what it. Not just for athletes, but for anybody really in sports that goes through stuff like this, really just in life in general. And we like tying it into sports, but obviously Tiger's got something that he's dealing with in terms of pain medication, and he's not the first. We've had on Chandra Edwards. We know what it does to young people. These, especially if he's constantly walking around in pain with all the surgeries he's had, but it always seems to come back on him, and it seems like he always gets behind the wheel when at the worst possible time too. So we'll find out with John. Looking forward to talking with him.
Yes, indeed. And, I know something that's near and dear to your heart, and that's basketball, but found out that Jake Wilkins, the son of Hall of Famer Dominic Wilkins, is going to be in the portal, or he has gone to the portal. And, Mike White up in Athens, I thought that was, going to be a great situation. But when you have the legend, the all-time great, one of the all-time greats in your program, his son is basically getting in the portal, leaving the institution where you made history. Man, that's some serious stuff.
Yeah, no, 100% it is, man. And I look forward to being able to talk with him.
Good morning to Bobby Brown and Ricky Rogers. Boy, they are out of the gates.
That's what I was literally just looking at. My train of thought was off because I'm like, we got Ricky, we got Bobby, we got David Boyd. I'm like, they up early and have more energy than I do this morning. Man, good morning. Ricky didn't even play. 6 o'clock, soon as this thing went live, he says he's there.
Absolutely, man. I tell you, it's just another level of commitment, man. It's another level of just thinking when you're talking about getting up in the morning and doing things. And, again, you're a former athlete, getting up in the morning, training and all, and now running a company and having to be up. And obviously you got guys like Ricky Rogers that's on your team. He's up, want to know, hey, look, what assignments we got today? What we got to do, Thrift? And then if you can't answer the call, man, you're gonna have some problems.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell him to go back to bed, and I'll answer him in here in a minute. No, I appreciate my guys, and you're right, DJ. Got to get ready to rock and roll here on this Thursday morning. Danielle Boyton even saying good morning and joining in on the act.
Absolutely, we appreciate it. Hey, let's go ahead and take our first break of the day and let you know that you're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WLTC HD2 SportsVisions 921. This is the SportsVisions Morning Show.
What's up? Let's slide. All right. And we gon' get it on the line. You smoke. I smoke. I drink. Me too. Well, good. Because we gon' get it on the line. I drive.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for making us your home for local, regional, national sports talk in the Chattahoochee Valley. This is SportsVisions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Tiffany Maddox with a look at your morning's headlines. Guilty on all counts, including murder and gang charges, is the verdict for 3 people involved in the 2016 Peachtree Mall shooting. Police say the 3 defendants shot Anthony Meredith to death as an act of revenge. A sentencing date is set for May 8th. And the ongoing drought in the Chattahoochee Valley is impacting local farmers. Many farmers are wondering if they'll be able to plant hay and other crops during this season. Farmers are waiting until they can get enough rain to plant crops, or they'll be forced to suspend sales and cut orders in the fall. Meanwhile, the Russell County Commission is working to make changes with the intersection at Highway 431 and Highway 165 by meeting with leadership in Montgomery and pushing to make the issue a priority because it's creating traffic problems for many drivers. For WRBL News 3, I'm Tiffany Maddox. Make it a great day.
Good Thursday morning. We're off to a chilly start again with the temperatures near 50 and a couple of clouds across the region. But expect more sun this afternoon along with seasonal temperatures climbing into the mid-70s. Tonight, mostly clear and seasonal again, temperatures near 50. We're going to be ending the week with afternoon temperatures closer to 80. We don't see high temperatures in the 80s until over the weekend as a dry weather pattern continues in the extended forecast.
To get the full story, visit SportsVisions921.com and click on the WRBL tab. SportsVisions 92.1.
Lori's Furniture Express, your express way to save.
It's springtime and a perfect time for you to visit Gorey's luxurious outdoor patio. Now, this is not your average big box store outdoor furniture. This will last you season after season after season. Sofas, love seats, and outdoor recliners. Come see it for yourself, and that's only at Gorey's Furniture. You're going to love this place. Alabama Highway 169 in Opelika.
This hour brought to you in part by Gill's Auto Sales, now celebrating their 40th anniversary.
Clingstone's baseball rolls on at Synovus Park April 14th through the 19th as Columbus hosts the Biloxi Shuckers. Enjoy Thirsty Thursday in the W.C. Bradley backyard. Then Friday night is Disco Night with post-game fireworks presented by Pabst Blue Ribbon. Saturday, pick up a green Clingstone's cap giveaway presented by Legacy Reserve at Old Town. And Sunday, don't miss a Peach Baseball giveaway presented by Pearson Farm. Plus, Family Sunday and Kids Run the Bases. It's a full week of fun at the ballpark. Get your tickets now at Clingstones.com.
I need a little ranch, step to the ranch, come on, meet me at the ranch.
Introducing the new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club Sandwich. With that juicy Chick-fil-A chicken on a buttermilk ranch bun, jalapeno ranch sauce, and pickled jalapenos, it's a little ranch with a lot of kick. The new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club with original spicy or grilled filet. Available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
At the YMCA, finding your why starts by making an impact together, touching lives for the better. It can be the gift of time or treasure, supporting a community through talent without measure. Here, compassion fuels commitment, finding fulfillment through enrichment, serving and improving. What a way to live, and what a gift it is to give. Find your why and get involved today at ymca.org for a better us.
Now back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Here's Denver Broncos 1987 AFC champion DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer in the building. It's a Throwback Thursday, and we are up and at 'em. Man, I like that song right there. Who's that singing that?
It's the Suit and Tie by Jay-Z, and then our guy, of course, Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake, I tell you, man. Speaking of addiction, and didn't Justin Timberlake have some issues as well?
Yeah, he's been overcoming a lot, but him and Biebs, those guys who I wish I could be in another life, because I would be a singing Thrift Barringer with long hair.
Yeah, absolutely. This white boy right here has got it going on, man. He has some rhythm, and he can move.
He can. Farrell found him. Remember the great Farrell?
Yep.
They
is it Pharrell or Farrell?
It's Pharrell. It's Pharrell. Good point. But they actually helped create this song, and it's
yeah.
Every time listen, when we're heading to a Sports Visions luncheon and we get suited and booted, gotta play this song.
I tell you what, if this doesn't get you up and going, man, I don't know what will. But yeah, good job, Thrift. Of course, getting the music and of course putting it in places with to help us get the day started for the Sports Visions Nation. Thrift, the Atlanta Braves got a victory as well last night. They're doing well. They're number 1 in the National League East right now. They, of course, are on the West. Actually, they're back home now, but they were finished up a West Coast standout there with the Los Angeles Dodgers. They won 8-2. Grant Holmes pitched six innings, gave up 5 hits and 6 strikeouts. Matt Olson hit a bomb, and again, to lead the Braves to an 8-2 victory. And of course, they are now 8-5 on top of the National League East. And I tell you, man, it's a long season, but I like how they're getting out of the gates, buddy.
Right now, there's a guy, you made mention of Olson, Ronald Acuna Jr., not bad this year, doesn't have a home run, only has a few RBIs, but he has played in all 13 games. Let him knock the rust off, guys. Take a deep breath. But who's carrying the team? Drake Baldwin. 5 home runs on the year. Leads the MLB, in RBIs at 15 and has a .321 batting average. He has been sensational to start the year and had another RBI last night. Now the Braves are 8-5 on the year.
And let's go Braves. I tell you, man, this is a year for the Braves. I know, but those damn Dodgers, man, I tell you what, they still got the biggest payroll and the most talent. And, of course, they're coming off of a World Series championship. But that's who we're shooting for. But good job, Braves. Out to a good start. First place in the National League East. And, of course, congratulations to our Clingstones getting their first win. Hopefully that's the first of many more to come.
Yeah, and I'm with you on the Clingstone, so I'm looking forward to it. Again, I just want to put this PSA out there for the Bravos. Obviously, they're filling out a long season, and they're going to try some things maybe early in the year that may result in a loss that they know they can't use later in the year. That you're going to do that. You do that in April and May and in June. When you get to July, it's time to grind for those playoff run. But for the Clingstones, I mean, it's going to be tough. Guys, you got to think they are bringing in and out people around the farm system. This roster is not going to be the same in the next couple of months. The manager is Pete Lavin, has nothing to do with what's happened on that field. I'll tell you that. So for the Nesta Perez and the way that he goes about his lineup, he's doing that in the best interest of the Braves organization and what suits the Braves major league team. So if that means it may cost a win in Clingstones, guess what? Do you think Alex Anthopoulos gives a crap? No, he does not. So that's why I have fun with the Clingstones, knowing that, hey, they may be losing some games because they're trying things out for the major league.
I tell you what, that's a great point, Thrift, and I want to definitely step on it. And of course, when you're talking about minor league baseball, as competitive as we all are, and of course we're all fans, and we want the Clingstones to win every game, and we want them to win championships, and of course that could happen, and it might happen. But the most important thing on the developmental stages of A-ball, AA ball and AAA ball is developing these players to the point of them being able to make it to Atlanta. And, sometimes, wins and losses don't factor into, and I don't want to make it sound like that I don't want them to win, but especially in AA. Nestor Perez, his job is to develop these players at a nice rate. I mean, make these players the best that they can be, and sometimes that might be at the advantage of losing and winning.
Yeah, exactly. And don't forget that a lot of these players who love being here in Columbus and the way Columbus supports them, but they are not Columbus bread and butter. And their end goal is not to win a Clingstone championship. What their end goal is to get to the Braves organization, to make it to major leagues.
Let the truth be told.
And that is where it's at. So for fans, I know everybody, no one wants to start 0-4, but that shouldn't dictate on how you support the Clingstones. It is about how do your kids feel when they're at the game? What's your experience like when you're sitting there with a loved one or friends? Are you having a good time? That's what matters. The wins and losses in minor league sports, and I'm talking about in the whole grand scheme of things, should not dictate how you feel. It should make you super excited, and it dang sure should make you super sad if they lose. It should be something that we just have in our community that gives us something fun to do, DJ.
If we're talking over your head, don't worry about it. Just enjoy the experience, enjoy the games, and keep doing what you're doing. Just more than anything, just keep going down. And if you haven't been down, get some tickets, man. Make a plan for your groups. Make a plan for your family. I know that the schools, they got a new deal this year. They're going to be playing some games. I think their first pitch is going to be like 11:30 or so.
Yep.
But that's in order. And you say, well, why are they playing this game? Well, they're doing this, and they're in coordination with a lot of the schools in the area so that they can bring the kids down. The schools can bring them, whether it's the school district, whether it's companies that are sponsoring it. But the Clingstones want the kids to have an opportunity to experience baseball here in Columbus.
Yeah, again, experience, fan experience, enjoying, having a good time. So I recommend everyone go out there and do that. And more so, because you got to think with the Clingstones, unlike with the Lions and the River Dragons, they don't work for another major league organization. It's not like the Lions work for some NFL team or the River Dragons work for an NHL team. They are their own entity. So I get a little bit about that. Yeah, they're there to win too, but mainly fan experience. But specifically for the Clingstones, when they really have no options on what roster they got because the Braves decide that, just go out there and have a good time, and I'll be cheering on them today.
All right, now I will officially put on my big boy draws as it pertains to being a Clingstones fan. And, of course, after we had opening day last Friday that down at the park, and we did all of our work. We did a streaming show live, and we did some reports and had a good time. And then we got off, and I had an opportunity to, of course, try cold beverage. Had a nice cold beer, and it was, man, that beer was colder than cold. Thrift. Did you get a chance to taste anything?
Yeah, I did. We had some, I think it's blue raspberry lemonade, with a little hint of some Tito's in it, and it's a nice little mixed cocktail for those out there.
Is that blue drink you had?
It was delicious, and they ran out. They had so many people like that drink. It was really good, and I'll tell you what, one or two of those, you make sure you are being safe getting home, okay? I recommend that to everyone out there. Be safe when leaving. Yes, the drinks are at affordable price. They're delicious, DJ, but when you're leaving that ballpark, make sure we're being smart and safe.
Well, again, just pace yourself, and then don't just take the liquids down. Go ahead and put something in your stomach.
Get a burger. I had a burger, DJ. It's decent. I did.
Was it good?
When you left, I decided, I'm going to go back. I want to at least try one food.
Right.
And the one thing I really didn't try much all of last year was the burger. I tried everything else.
Yep.
Burger was really good.
I tell you one thing that I had fun with, obviously doing our hit, I went out to the concession stand and talked to the folks that were behind the nacho stand. And I said, look, I'm about to do a stand up, and here, behind home plate in the, for the, SportsVisions and the Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And can I borrow one of those? I need a prop. And can I get one of those batting helmets with the nachos in it and that kind of thing? And I said, no, don't put the pulled pork on there because again, I just want to show and I can create the illusion. And that's what we did. And tell you what, man, for less than $20, man, that's a lot of food. And the fact of the matter is that the souvenir helmet that it comes in, that's worth the $20 that you pay.
Exactly right. I have 4 of them at home. I
got 2.
I keep every single one of them.
Yeah.
I'm with you, DJ. And that's again, all in part to the creativity of the marketing team and everyone involved with the Columbus Clingstone. So again, just be patient. And also, it's rain season. I went off on a little bit of a kind of a rant yesterday with Dana being funny. I'm like, dude, can we get this bipolar weather to make its mind up? What I can't stand is weather that affects streaming the next day. I'm like, come on, man. Can we at least know so 3 days ahead? Hey, that's probably not going to be a game. What I hate is we don't know, and then all of a sudden, an hour before the game, the bottom files out. My guy's already there, and guess what? We got to come back again the next day. Well, guess what? The high school's got to deal with it. College has got to deal with it, and so do the professional teams. They got to deal with it.
Now, you think that's the issue? Well, the real issue is waking up in the morning, and it's 49, 50, 51 degrees here in April, damn near the mid-April. And, what the hell? I mean, when you think that most of the fall weather and the winter temperatures are gone, but, when you got to get up and you still got to wear a vest or you got to wear a hoodie to cover your head and, between the pollen and your throat and all the mucus in the back of your throat. Man, it's crazy when you think our job is easy, huh? That's why exactly you see me sipping on tea every morning here, and the Thrift is drinking that Jack Daniels and water over there. It's it clears his throat.
Yeah, no doubt. Getting up that early and it being cold and having to wear a hoodie, and then by the time it gets to the afternoon when I'm at Brookstone today and it's 80 degrees outside, DJ, this is why people can't make up their mind. I will tell you, the high today, though, was 73, so I won't complain today. But in the next couple of weeks, by next Friday, DJ?
Yep.
90 degrees.
Well, I will believe it when I see it, because for whatever reasons, whatever the weather forecast here, and I know that the meteorologists can double down on what I'm saying, is that we are in the valley, and they call this the Chattahoochee Valley. But for whatever reasons, the weather doesn't seem to stick as much as it's not spot on as you would think, because if you say it's going to rain tomorrow, if it's going to rain today, if it's going to be cool, cold, hot, that kind of is based on, day by day. You have to kind of almost just wait and see, something that I wouldn't, if I was a betting man, I wouldn't bet on the weather.
No, I definitely wouldn't bet on the
Not
weather
here
either.
in the Chattahoochee Valley.
Absolutely not. And when, again, talking Dana last night, he made some good points. He's like, rain may mess you up now, but if we don't get rain now, when June and July get here and we've had a drought of supposed to be shower season, that 90 degrees turns into 99, that turns into 100 humidity and just dry and just terrible. And I'm like, you know what? I can handle the rain right now if it means for not as hot of a summer, because you know how brutal it gets here in this area.
Coming up in just a little bit, I want to go ahead and let you know as well that Rex Castile, who was working with Jack Patterson over at on the sports team at WRBL, he's moved on to, of course, fame and fortune. He's with the Savannah Bananas, who has taken the world by storm. I mean, they're filling up football stadiums around the country.
That's incredible.
And they're on tour, and Rex has joined them as one of their storytellers. And again, I am so happy and proud for him. We're going to have an opportunity for him to come on and share that experience and how he's enjoying it and exactly what he's doing, Thrift. And I'm looking forward to it in just a little bit.
Yeah, Rex has an interesting story. And he jumped on that Savannah Bananas bandwagon many years ago when he was in Savannah, and he tells this story, and he remembers doing, going to games and was not sold out like it was, barely anybody in the stadium, and he's doing, interviews and small, what do they call, stories and stuff for the news station, and the guy, Cole, never forgot it, that runs the Savannah Bananas. So when they are now expanding and needing more and more people to bring in the coverage and stuff like that, the first thought was, I got to go get Rex Castillo. And now that's why you don't burn bridges. You don't turn your nose up at any opportunity, because you never know what's going to happen.
Absolutely. Shout out once again to David Boyd, who's listening out there. Good morning, David, as well as Danella Boydington. And, of course, Bobby Brown and Ricky Rogers. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I tell you what, we take a short break. When we come back, Rex Castile and his Savannah Bananas. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WLTC HD2, SportsVisions 921. We are your hometown sports guys.
Just an option. Hey, hey, hey. Refuse to be forgotten. Hey, hey, hey. I took a chance with my heart. Hey, hey, hey. And I feel it taking over.
This is the SportsVisions Morning Show.
Let's do this.
SportsVisions 92.1.
Spring Black Friday is on at the Home Depot. Save on grills and patio sets that will be sure to bring your hosting game up a notch. Fire up your feast with help from the Home Depot and save on grills. Like the Next Grill 4-burner propane gas grill was $249, now on special buy for $199. Or give everyone the best seat in the yard with the Hampton Bay Mayfield Park 4-piece conversation set for only $399. Save on grills and patio sets with low prices guaranteed during Spring Black Friday only at the Home Depot. Now through April 22nd, while supplies last. Exclusions apply. See HomeDepot.com/price match for details.
My name is Corporal Bradley Joseph Seitz.
Jerry Reed.
Kate Weber.
These are real veterans facing a real challenge.
I have PTSD.
And I have PTSD.
I have PTSD.
Post-traumatic stress disorder can happen to anyone.
I was still in a war zone in my mind.
But treatment can turn your life around.
Treatment has really saved my life.
To learn about PTSD and how treatment can help you, call your local VA medical center or visit ptsd.va.gov.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless gas that can be fatal. Don't use anything indoors that burns fuel, such as gasoline-powered generators, camp stoves and lanterns, or charcoal grills. Opening doors and windows or using fans isn't enough. Have your vents and chimneys checked to make sure water heater and gas furnace exhausts aren't blocked. If you feel sick, dizzy, or weak while using a generator, get to fresh air right away. From the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency.
You know you don't have to wear your PT gear anymore, right?
It's comfortable.
So how's civilian life treating you?
It's fine.
When I got out, I didn't want to admit that there was anything wrong because it felt like a failure. And then I realized, there's nothing to be ashamed of. So I started talking to someone. Maybe you are fine. But if you're not, it's okay.
Thank you.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Working safely around underground utilities could put you at risk for outages, injury, and loss of life. Don't risk it. Alabama 811 plays a vital role in taking the request to have underground utilities marked. It's free, it's simple, it's the law. Visit al811.com for more info.
Operation Homefront, it opened up so many possibilities. It took us from a hopeless situation. Now we're homeowners. We have a savings account. It's completely changed the way our life is. Our household is so much happier.
Visit operationhomefront.org to learn more.
We had the type of nights when morning comes too soon. And nothing was the same.
Covering local and national sports. This is the SportsVisions Morning Show on SportsVisions 92.1. Drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Green Bay Packers. Here's DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Hey, without further ado, let's go ahead and bring him up. This guy, we are so proud of him. He's one of we claim him. That's right. We claim Rex. Sexy Rex. How you doing, my friend?
It's a good morning, guys. Good to be up with you. How y'all doing today?
We're doing wonderful, man. We were just bragging about, obviously, the great job that you had done here with WRBL Sports as a sports director. And, of course, you moved to the news anchor seat in the morning. And, again, from there, God dropped another assignment on you. And, man, did he drop a good one.
Yeah, the man makes plans and God laughs because he says, watch this. It's been a blessing, learning a lot, growing a lot. Really blessed to be with a great team. I mean, it feels like, when I'm around the crew that I'm with the Savannah Bananas Media Relations, I'm really blessed to have some good mentors there, some good confidants, and a lot of people there who we want to keep pushing this thing to the next level. Jesse Cole, our owner, he keeps saying that we're in the first inning of this whole thing. I'm like, look, what we're doing now doesn't feel like the first inning, but no, it's very much, this is the first inning. We're still a place, while we've grown so much, want to be a place of innovation and growth and hunger. And it's inspiring to be around that kind of stuff.
Right off the rip, let me congratulate you because you guys have done something that nobody else apparently has done since that Superdome has been down there. You guys sold out the Caesar Superdome in New Orleans the other day, right?
Right, and back-to-back nights. So no sporting event has done that. Not back-to-back nights. Yes, the Saints can sell it out when they're doing well, but the Saints don't play back-to-back games, and the Pelicans play across the way. I think hearing some of the people that were able to do that you're in the company of like Beyonce and Taylor Swift. And when I tell you New Orleans brought the energy, it still feels kind of like a fever dream. I'm looking at all the social media stuff from our team, what I was been able to witness, and 70,000 strong in the Superdome was. I see why that place is intimidating to play at. I know like Falcons fans don't want to hear that, but like that place gets loud and it's amazing. Just a huge credit to the city of New Orleans and all of our fans who were able to travel out that way.
So, Rex, Banana Ball was also at 2 other locations this past weekend. Dickey Stevens Park in North Little Rock. I've been there several times.
There you go.
And Dell Diamond out in Round Rock, Texas. Talk about that experience and what was the fan base like that. I know the Bananas weren't playing in it, but it was still Banana Ball.
So the crazy thing is, we are the Banana Ball League. The Banana Ball Championship League is now what we've launched. So 6 teams playing the game of Banana Ball. And I tell you, the organizational strength and the integrity of this place to put on 3 games at once and then stream them at the same time with incredibly talented people up in the booth, sidelines, camera operators, and then you have to provide entertainment. I mean, look, it doesn't matter where we are. We want to put on the greatest show on earth. And it's one of those things that, again, the complexity, the travel, the teamwork, we're going to places that a lot of us, you go, for example, the Clingstones, they'll have the same setup every time they're at home and at Synovus Park. We don't have a home stadium. Grayson Stadium may be it, but we don't play there regularly. We play at all these new places and we have to plug in to their equipment, the Caesar Superdome equipment, the Dell Diamond equipment, and then just put on still a flawless show. It's really amazing to see how well they've scaled this up. And to answer your question, Richard, like even if you put us in a minor league park, imagine, I keep using this metaphor, maybe people have heard it on the show, have Metallica play in a dive bar, and it's the energy and something like there, and it's incredible. I was in Frisco last week, and that's the Frisco Rough Riders, the AA affiliate park right there, and it was still incredible to see how much people love to come out and be a part of the experience. They'll drive hours through storms and whatever to be part of this, and then you go to a place like the Caesars Superdome because there's a challenge too. Like you have to keep the fans engaged at the very, very top. One of the cool things that Jesse does before the game start, we go up to the top level of every stadium we go to, whether it's the AA affiliates or minor league stadiums or places as big as the Caesar Superdome or Doak Campbell Stadium. We go up to the very top because this is the angle that a lot of our fans also are at. We have to entertain people at this level because, you could be sidelined and that's great to, embrace and be part of that energy. But how do you entertain the guy in the 700 level and make sure that family's taken care of?
Tell you what, Rex, I got to get you to answer this question before I forget. But how do you mentioned you guys move around and play in a lot of different places, but you mostly play in places that don't normally actually stage, a baseball field, but like these football stadiums. So how do you pull that off? What are the logistics of getting the stand in and the fences and the measurements for tell that story, please.
I can't say much on that because my G14 classification has kicked in yet. But at the same time, we have a coach, Adam Byron. We call him Viro. And our baseball ops people, I tell you what, they are Hall of Fame human beings. Being able to set that up and to work with the crews there as well, to lay down some new turf, to build the stadium, to build the field, it's incredible. And then they have the same kind of energy to perform in the game. So our dimensions in the Caesar Superdome were pretty crazy. Our left field was 231 feet. For reference, Williamsport, where the Little League World Series is played, 225 feet. But at the same time, you had a net that was up 65 feet tall to make sure that, a single doesn't turn into a bullet to a fan, make sure everybody's safe. And then you play it off the wall like it would be the Green Monster. But the deepest part of the park for the Caesar Superdome was 438 feet. So that's like a legit shot. And for that to happen, even with our feet on the ground, it really didn't make sense that a baseball diamond was there at the Caesar Superdome. But we did find out that the Superdome was actually built as a multiple sport facility. And they did play baseball there pre-Katrina. But to bring baseball back even before that terrible storm hit New Orleans. But I tell you what, the energy of that place, New Orleans is one of my favorite cities in the world to visit, to be a part of. And it was just really, really wonderful to bring that experience down there.
Rex, do they keep track of traditional baseball stats in Banana Ball?
We have a guy, Josh Talevsky, who is our stat wizard. And yes, we keep track of, batting average, OBP, but at the same time, we have other stats that we have to keep track of that they don't keep track of in traditional baseball, like four ball sprints. What is the ratio to, after a 4-ball sprint? How's our strikeout rate? Trick plays. That's important in our game because we don't just honor a player of the night. We honor entertainer of the night, a showman of the night. So yeah, Richard Holdridge could hit 3 home runs, but if Rex Castillo hits a home run, 4 trick plays, and has an entertainment moment, you kind of lean to the guy who entertains more. So it is, if you go to our website, there is a stats page. It's very interesting and very cool to look at. But again, 4-ball sprints, trick plays, all that kind of stuff, then walk-offs, because in baseball or in banana ball, you don't win by just runs. You win by winning the inning. Because if DJ's team scores 5 runs in an inning, but we score 6 runs in an inning, I win the point. And then it's an interesting thing for that to evolve into and learning our game. It does take a little minute to adjust because you can look at the scoreboard and say like, okay, well, the Bananas scored 17 runs, but the Party Animals scored 18 runs, but the score is 3-2. That's because we play by innings until we get to the last inning.
Rex Castillo is our guest this morning on the SportsVisions morning show, and Rex is in media relations, amongst a lot of other things. That's just the title they go by, but these guys, they do everything. Rex, I tried to explain during the tease that, when you think about banana ball, don't get it twisted. It's not the Harlem Globetrotters. They don't have that script, and the Washington Wizards or whoever they play, they don't lose every night. You never know who's going to win with banana ball. It's not a scripted sport.
Correct. It's one of those things that if you could script it, I guess we would. I mean, it'd be easier to create entertainment moments. And dang, gotta throw the Washington Wizards like that. The Washington Generals, but the Washington Wizards aren't playing like the Generals right now.
Same.
But yeah, same difference at this point. Dang, man, that's brutal. But at the same time, no, this is a thing where you walk up to these guys, and you can feel the energy, the competitive juices that are flowing through there. Because if this was a script, maybe more guys will focus on the entertainment point. But no, there are closers who have the same mindset as a baseball closer. Like, these guys are wired differently. They're out for blood when they're out there on that mound for the last inning or so. And yeah, these guys want to compete and they want to win. For example, the Party Animals and Bananas played in the Caesars Superdome. The Party Animals beat the Savannah Bananas in the last game, and that was the first loss the Bananas had this season. So that was a red-hot team coming into the Caesars Superdome. The Party Animals, the long-standing rivals of the Bananas, and the Party Animals were able to get more trick plays. They were able to hold on to the win, and a really, really cool story. Dylan Porter was the guy who closed out the game, the second game for the Party Animals. He took a hiatus from banana ball, came back, and in front of 70,000 people, a guy who pitched at the University of New Orleans, 15 minutes away from the Superdome, closed the door on the Savannah Bananas to give the Party Animals that massive win. And just for him, he was on cloud 9. I mean, when you get that kind of redemption, it's like a guy who was, he was cut from a team, and then all of a sudden gets another shot because maybe this team saw another need for him and was able to get his kind of like sports redemption in front of a massive crowd. It was really, really amazing. It's what sports is all about.
Rex, talk about some of the new additions of the teams that have been added. And again, the plan moving forward.
The plan moving forward is always continue to grow. How do we push the envelope? And what does that look like? That's a great question. But taking the brass rings to the next level, we do have 2 more teams with the Indianapolis Clowns, which one of my favorite stories there. It's a reinvigoration, a reinvention, and a rebirth of the traditional Negro League team, the Indianapolis Clowns. And that was an organization that had guys like Hank Aaron, Satchel Paige, legends of the game, bringing that history back. But this edition, we have Jackie Bradley Jr., a former World Series champion, ALCS MVP. He was the first overall draft pick, and now he's in Indianapolis, Clown. And this guy has a Naruto headband. He's doing the Naruto run. He's doing all this anime stuff, and he's loving the game. He had a walk-up with a Jackson 5 song, and he did fantastic. And then we added another team in the Local Beach Coconuts, all about the island vibes. Imagine if Margaritaville was a baseball team, pretty much what you got. And one of the really, really cool things I'm really enjoying now, one of the recent additions to the roster, Brian Trepanier, BK, he's a Columbus guy, was a former Columbus Chattahoochee. Unfortunately, the Texas Tailgaters, his former team, didn't find a spot for him, and that was really tough. But BK stayed in the organization. He had a really great story there. I can't say too much because we do have a great story out here. My coworker, Michael, has a great story coming out about BK's new career. I want to just tease that. Be on the lookout for that. Michael's going to do a great job with that. But just shout out to Trepanyer and his grind. It's really paid off. And I have to leave it there because there are certain things we like surprises here in Banana Land, but you'll see a great story about that coming out soon.
Rex, I want to talk about Dakota Albritton, the pitcher that pitches on stilts. How often does he pitch? And when can we expect him? Like, is he expected to pitch every game? And how many innings does he pitch?
I do not have access to the script, Richard, because one does not exist. Because one does not exist. But Dakota is always ready to go. That's what I have the utmost respect for a lot of our players. Stilts is a world-class human being, and he's a better person outside of the uniform too. Great baseball player, solid gold human being. Loves his outdoors. He's an outdoorsman, so any chance he gets, he loves to be out there in the woods and be out there. And what he says is that's where he finds his peace. But at batting practice, I will say at the Caesars Superdome, he did hit a home run over over the left field fence there. But always be on the lookout for Dakota because he's a unique weapon. When that ball is coming from that launch point, you really don't know what to expect. And it's also really funny to see a lot of these pitchers, like when his strike zone is that tall, they're going after him. Like, yeah, Dakota's up and it's a cool thing. Like, we're going to lollipop something up over there so we can get a single. No, these guys, they like, all right, Stilts is here. Great. It's another opportunity for a strikeout. A really cool moment, too, in the Caesars Superdome this past weekend. We had an 81-year-old man, Rob Harrelson, who submitted an audition tape. And it went viral. The Today Show picked it up. And Jesse Cole and our team, master of surprises, invited him out, and he was able to take an at-bat against the Party Animals. And, Rob was like, all right, 81 years old. They're kind of like, are we going to give him a shot? Like, no, they're there to strike you out. We're throwing 90-mile-an-hour fastballs at an 81-year-old. Every age, every group can get this smoke equally. And he struck out. He got a foul tip, though. But it's one of those things that even if Dakota or a special guest is coming up, guess what? It's a competition, guys. We're not going to lollipop anything to you. So it's really cool to see whenever I will say it never gets old seeing Stilts out there. Like, I thought I would get used to it, but anytime Dakota's out there, so much respect for what he does. Anytime he's out there, it's just like I turn into like a kid at the circus. Like, whoa, this is really cool.
Rex, we can't take for granted that everybody that's listening this morning knows what the hell we're talking about. For those that don't, or for those who just tuned in, will you give a little backstory to, of course, Jesse Cole and the existence and the start of Banana Ball and the Savannah Bananas?
I'll do this without trying to turn into a long-winded lecture, but basically Jesse Cole took over, got the rights to the baseball team in Savannah, a minor league team, and Grayson Stadium is a great spot, a historic spot, but they had a hard time holding on to minor league ball. He decided to flip everything on its head, and he had been a showman from the very beginning. Jesse is all about the spectacle, but also all about keeping the fans first. That's why our company's name, Fans First Mentality, has Fans First Entertainment, and we have a Fans First Mentality. So basically, 2016, he decides to put on a goofy name for a team. Let's name it after a fruit. Didn't do well at the very beginning. Was able to only sell a couple tickets. Guys, only a couple tickets for a new organization. He famously went into debt, but he went all in on his dreams and a relentless work ethic, a relentless belief. You don't have to see it to believe it. You have to believe it to see it, is what he says. And basically, he was able to briefly, for a couple of years, very successfully, the Savannah Bananas were a wood bat baseball league. But then in 2020, he decided to 2018, 2020, he decided to flip the script. Let's change baseball because it was still a game that was taking too long to play and to entertain. That's where Banana Ball came in. And you can go online to see things like, if fans catch a foul ball, it's an out, a 2-hour time limit, all this stuff that makes our game unique. And that game exploded into what we see today. A league based on entertainment, based on a fans first mentality, and getting the right guys to do it. Because these guys aren't just your beer league guys. These are guys who've played. A lot of them were MLB draft picks. Jake Skoll, who plays for the Party Animals, was part of a Rose Bowl winning team with the Georgia Bulldogs. And he was a Triple Crown winner last year. So it's one of these things where this is highly competitive, highly entertaining, and focused on our fans. And that is as good as I can do when it comes to a very brief history of the Savannah Bananas. All I would say is check out, go online, check out any social media we have, and you'll find a place where the fans are our priority, entertainment's our priority, and also competition's at the heart of it.
Rex, I want to talk about the upcoming schedule because the Bananas play at Petco Park in San Diego and then play at Angel Stadium in Anaheim. Back-to-back weeks. Do you stay in California the whole week, or do you end up going home when the series is over? Because what's that road trip looking like? Because you got 2 trips to the West Coast in back-to-back weekends.
I did not get the assignment to go to the West Coast, unfortunately. I am going to Sacramento. I'm not on that stretch, but I am going to Sacramento tomorrow. The grind is a little different. I'll say this: like I was able to go out with my wife to New Orleans. That was really special. She had never been to New Orleans. I love New Orleans. Got her Cafe Du Monde stops and all that stuff. So we left for New Orleans on Friday. Saturday, Sunday were our games. We fly back Monday. I rested Tuesday. I'm working today. I fly out to Sacramento tomorrow. Friday, Saturday, come back, repeat. But to answer your question, for our teams going out to the for that San Diego Anaheim stretch, they are staying on the West Coast, from what I understand. I can't reveal too many details about travel plans because I'm not on that plane. But the grind is very, very much real. But I look at it, and it's been such a blessing. Tallahassee, Sacramento, New Orleans, and Frisco were my stops this month. This month alone. The frequent flyer miles are packing up, so I'm enjoying that. For those of you flying, pro tip, compression socks. They make the hugest difference in the world when you're up in the air. And find you a good neck pillow. I've been lucky to, a lot of ups and downs and headaches with the weather, but just shout out to Delta for treating us so well up in the air.
Rex, I know that, there has been a lot said, and obviously, you have all of our blessings, but can you talk about the differences or at least, from sports to news to, of course, the Savannah Bananas?
Oh, shoot. I think obviously your assignment, your daily grind is very different on the sports and news side. I had a deadline to meet every single day, and the expectations were there, and I held myself to a high standard. With the Bananas, the deadlines are still there, but it's more quality over quantity, and I'm learning my new role. It's a matter of best way I could describe it is a college superstar who could do everything. Right? Play both sides of the ball, Travis Hunter kind of thing, or a quarterback who was setting records in his league. You go to the NFL, and it's one of those things like, okay, your skill set's great, but remember, everyone is at a different level now. Everyone's at a different point. I've been blessed. Some of my coworkers have worked for MLB Network, worked for some of the biggest YouTube creators out there, been from cinematic backgrounds. I can tell stories, sure, but I have to learn those other skill sets that are going to be able to take me to the next level. Because throwing a slant at the college and high school level, DJ, you know this. You throw a slant at the same speed at high school, you're getting picked off 9 times out of 10 in the NFL because they know they're going to be there before your receiver's at. Yes. And at the same time, you have to be able to pick it up fast. I'm in a place, too, where I'm learning. I have to continue to learn, and I'm growing. Being a sideline reporter has been the skill set that I'm continuing to learn and continuing to grow. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. And it's one of those things where, like, find the stories of these teams, getting to learn the teams, because I'm still in a place where I'm putting names to faces. But guys have been so great to reach out to when I'm on the sidelines. Hey, man, I'm still putting names to faces. I'm Rex. I'm really sorry if I keep getting names wrong. Everyone has been great. They understand. Everyone here understands from Jesse Cole's level all the way down the ladder. We all have to work together. So I'm catching up to the speed of the game. The curveball hits a little different in Major League Baseball than it does in high school. Learning the speed of that and learning how to be able to take my skill sets. But my foundational stuff in sports and news is what got me here. So there are times too, I have to give a huge shout out to my coworker, Sam Bauman, is that like, look, you were picked for a reason. Remember that. So if ever that imposter syndrome kicks in, remember what you were here because you were selected. It's just my job to not rest on my laurels and keep grinding.
Rex, my last question for you this morning, as I know you got to get going. Hey, look, what would you say to the Rex of today? What would you say to the 18-year-old Rex Castillo?
Great question. You're going to run into a lot of frustrations and you're going to run into a lot of no's. Trust in his plan. Just trust in his plan. Everything happens for a reason. At 18, I thought I was going to be at ESPN by the time I was 22. God said you weren't ready, and you have to trust that. I think a lot of us, that for me, my faith is a big part of it. Leaning on where I was and being at times frustrated, but also realizing it's important to grow where you're planted. Quick story, I had applied for every local TV station in New Orleans. multiple times at different times in my career. Never got a call back, never got an interview. Last weekend, I was the guy handing out credentials to the local media.
Wow.
Wow.
I was the guy who was helping them out and tell them stories. And I could have been bitter, but my thing is, our organization, we pride ourselves on being great to work with and being great to even better to our fans. There's no reason to be a jerk in their house. You know what I mean? Like, I've been treated badly by some organizations. I've been treated as trash by some organizations on the local media side. There are partners in this. There are great, team. There's all teamwork here to make sure our game continues to grow. So, but I was the guy who's like, yeah, if you need an interview, I can help this, that, and the third. And oh yeah, that guy went to University of New Orleans. That guy's from Morgan City, Louisiana. If you need help, here you go. Let me know what you need. And
Awesome.
Yeah, trust in his plan. Being patient is the hardest thing to tell an 18-year-old, as we all probably remember. But there is a grace and a necessity to being patient.
Great things happen to great people, Rex. We appreciate you, man. Hey, have a great rest of your morning, and thank you for finding time to tap into Sports Visions Nation this morning.
Of course, guys. If you ever need anything, you let me know. Go Bananas.
I searched the world to my head just to find out your ways better.
You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1.
Is your phone really more important than someone's life? When you take your eyes off the road, you're not just putting your life in danger. In fact, 2 out of 3 people killed in distracted driving crashes in Georgia were not the distracted driver. It could have been a family, a college student, a little girl. So when you're tempted to scroll, don't pick up. Think heads up. You never know whose life you could save.
Sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
This is the highlight of my morning. Hey, what's up? It's Island.
And I'm Josh.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit is that it's our go-to morning comfort.
You've got that nice golden fluffy egg.
With a soft, flaky biscuit.
Crispy bacon.
Melty cheese.
You want something quick, you want something convenient, but most of all, you want something good.
There's no better way to start your morning.
There we go.
Start off the morning with a Chick-fil-A Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit with Simply Orange Juice. Order on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Smooth accelerators. When that light turns green, you're off. Like a warm knife through firm butter. Going from 0 to the speed limit in an appropriate amount of time. Sure, your car has horsepower, but your horses prance around as silky smooth as your right foot. Fancy Prancerton. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
In Iraq, our truck hit a roadside bomb. I had about 16 surgeries on my hand so that I could regain function. And when I came home, I needed a new roof due to a storm. And I was about to lose homeowners insurance as well. I applied for Operation Homefront Critical Financial Assistance Program. And it's good to know that when we come home, there are people who are there that care about us. Operation Homefront, they've really been a blessing.
Visit OperationHomefront.org to learn more.
Some of the best sounds you'll ever hear are generic. Safe. Effective. Even money-saving. Just like FDA-approved generic drugs. Even if they don't come in the exact same color or shape as their brand name equivalents, they have the same key ingredients and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today and visit fda.gov/generic drugs. Generics are safe, effective, and can save you money. You'll like the sound of that.
Get your business on Sports Visions 92.1 now. Become a sponsor of the all-new Sports Visions Morning Show, The Dan Patrick Show, Colin Cowherd, or The Paul Feinbaum Show. Call DJ Jones at 706-681-1136. That's 706-681-1136. Your home for local, regional, and national sports coverage. Sports Visions 92.1.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the GHSA and the Georgia Athletic Directors Association.
WLTC HD2 Casita, and W221DP Columbus. You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1. Catch the Paul Feinbaum Show, 3 to 7 on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Here's three-time Georgia Bulldog SEC champion and 1980 national champion, DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Thrift, when I hear this music, I can just hear in the background somebody saying, he's the pride and joy of the Glenwood Gators. He's the son of Coach Larry Bush. He's the CEO of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Please put your hands together for Thrift Barringer.
And then I walk out and trip over my own feet, but clapping, waving. I love this song, though, dude.
I know.
And looking forward to next week, Sports Visions Female Awards Luncheon next Thursday. It's going to be a lot of fun, DJ.
Absolutely. And then I know we got one of the hottest musical directors in this side of the Mississippi, of course, DJ Cashflow. Have you already coordinated with him, or did he just knows you?
He knows me now. So Big Cash, I don't have to tell him anything. He's got me and you down pat. Now we just got to find Big Rich, his walkout song. And looking forward to having a true professional and Rosalind Giles kind of be the mistress and the host and facilitating things that she always does. And look forward to another fun Female Awards Luncheon.
Absolutely. And talking about, Rich's walkout music, E40 and those guys on the Bay, one of those rappers, I got a feeling that will be one of his songs that he would probably want to consider, but we don't know.
This is Rich.
Yeah.
Come on now.
What?
Big Rich coming out. Got on his pants, baggy pants, and he's you look. This is Rich Crip walking out there. Look at that, brother. Tell me you Rich going to have fun with it. Big Rich, we got your song right now. This is it.
All right. I love it, man. That's great. Yeah, but we're going to be celebrating the over 50, 60 of the top female athletes in East Alabama, West Central Georgia, man. I'm talking about, to the tune of about 20, right at 20 schools, man. And two of their what happens is the athletic director has the privilege of nominating out of his program the top two females and then that's how that gets started. And then from those most outstanding female athletes, we pick have an opportunity between our committee. We pick the specialty team award winners. And again, man, it's a beautiful day for the girls. And for whatever reason, man, I know how big and how huge and 18 years of football luncheons from Nick Saban to Kirby Smarts and the likes, but for this is a little near and dear to my heart. I think and I know it has a lot to do with the way those young ladies appreciate this, because not a whole lot of people do a whole lot for our female athletes, and you can tell they appreciate this.
Yeah, no doubt. They, for one, the way they dress up, the way they carry themselves, they like being recognized, and it was a great idea you and Dale had many years ago, and looking forward to this year. Looking forward to hearing Sue Walton. I know last year we had Tree Rollins. The year before that we had Miss Hamilton, who was the AD over at Janelle Hamilton over at.
You said Tree Rollins. Now that's Tree Rollins played for the Hawks. Tree Williams. now.
Tree.
Yeah. Because the only reason I stopped because I know she's listening.
And then her daughter's coach over at Aaron Cone.
Oh, your car's gonna get in. It's gonna get in.
God. I'm so sorry. My granddad graduating from there. Tree, I apologize. Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Chattahoochee Valley.
3-time Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Famer, recently inducted a year ago. She spoke at it. Janelle Hamilton, the AD over at, Point University,
right.
who was a Division I volleyball player. I mean, you've had some who's who come and speak to these young ladies, and they're always listening, never on their phones, paying attention, gathering as much information as possible, and I don't think anyone is higher quality than Sue Walton.
Absolutely. And again, the thing about Sue is not only, has she done well herself, but, from her, she comes from a great home. My mom and dad, when you talk to, talk about Felix and Shirley Walton, his mom there, the pillars of the community. Coach Walton is a longtime coach, very much legendary like your granddad, coached the who's list of, former and current professional and collegiate athletes. Just great people, great citizens. They have fathers and mothers that are now productive citizens in the community. So but for her, not only was she at elite status with her ability as an athlete, she has a son who is a prospect with not a prospect now. He's one of the players on the staff, or at least on the team with the Ohio State Buckeyes. Her brother is the defensive co-defensive coordinator and defensive back coach with the Ohio State Buckeyes, Tim. And, of course, her husband is the linebacker coach and a former, NFL linebacker himself with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, I mean, you're talking about, success in one house, man. To have her on stage and to talk, really to the kids, to the parents, to the sponsors, to the coaches, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, and love the fireside chat, so you can be able to watch it as we love our PNB family, no doubt about
Absolutely.
it. DJ Rob Carter to our right, and then we got Bear O'Brien to our left. We got Rock, we got Kiss, and then right in the middle of SportsVisions. Shows you everything we got and can cover, man. But looking forward to being there next Thursday, streaming it. And remember, we went viral last year. Maybe we can go viral this year.
Well, we got out of the gates with the San Mark Foundation's high school basketball awards down through. If that was your run through, and again, so now. I don't know. You did a great job with that streaming, but hopefully you bring the same crew, and we'll be able to do this. And of course, we'll be able to celebrate these young ladies, not just for this community, not just for the state, all across America, all across the world, as it pertains to the streaming services of Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Yeah, I'll tell you this too, DJ. We got it almost down to a science getting in and out in an hour and a half. So I will not shrink down. And we were testing out the interviews, but I really did like it when we do the specialty awards and we have them come up there, giving them an opportunity to speak in front of their colleagues. That's a big deal, and looking forward to having that every time we do this moving forward, and it makes for a fun time.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hey, coming up in just a little bit, we'll have an opportunity to talk to, again, the man with the plan. He is Jack Patterson. He's in, of course, boots on the ground, in and around. He's in the vicinity of the Augusta Nationals. And I know it's a little early and security probably won't allow them to be on the course just yet. However, we do know that, folks are there. I mean, they're there. They've been there. They've come from all over the world. And, yesterday I was able to share, it was just a report that, in order to be able to walk the course with these golfers today through Sunday, you're going to run you some right around $2,000. That's a ticket apparently to get on the grounds and, get up and closer and personal with these professional golfers in this iconic event.
That is a lot of money, which why the concessions are not as expensive, DJ. I'm going to pull the concessions.
Yeah, because I don't want people to get concessions confused with merchandise, because the merchandise is just through the roof. I mean, it's like, your top shelf Gucci. I mean, like a golf shirt, for instance. I mean, you're going to spend $75 for, an embroidered golf shirt with the Masters logo on it. Yeah, easy.
You have to wear a collared shirt too. That is, you have to do that. Here is the menu though. For sandwiches, you got egg salad, pimento cheese, both $1.50, barbecue and Masters Club and chicken breast sandwich, $2.50, and then a ham and cheese on rye, tuna salad or turkey for $1.50.
Wow.
Breakfast, coffee for $1, sausage biscuit for $1.50, blueberry muffin and fresh fruit each $1. Drinks, how about a soft drink for only $1? Bottled water $1.50, iced tea $1.50, beer $2.75, imported beer $3.50. And then you got snacks, candies only $1, chips, crackers $1, peanuts $1, cookie $1, ice cream sandwich $2.
Not sandwich, sandwich. Well, now when you consider all that's necessary, when you're talking Masters and you're talking, they're saying $2,000 the average price. And I don't know how true that is, but if it's anything close to that, you damn right it better be free food. I mean, they're charging $1.50 and $1 for this and that, but hell, it should be free. You're paying that much to get in, and well, I tell you, it's crazy. But you know what? Here's the catch. And I know that they don't have to, candy coat.
I'm looking it up right now.
Right.
And practice rounds, $125. The par 3 contest they just did, only $150.
To watch a par 3.
Yeah, but this is not the tournament.
Not the tournament. This starts today.
This is with the celebrities and everything else. The actual tournament day, And by the way, they do have lottery prices. So you can pay $160 to potentially get an opportunity to get a ticket.
Or you can just kind of like,
you don't get it. Yeah.
Out.
So you're literally just throwing away $160. Or you can pay over $2,000 to officially be able to walk a day. Tournament single day tickets Thursday through Sunday usually start around between $2,000 and $5,000. They can get even higher. 4-day badge to be there all 4 days.
Yeah,
$26,000.
Wow, I tell you,
I better get some barbecue sandwiches for free for 26 grand, DJ.
Yeah,
I mean, dang.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of people there too. That's what's crazy.
Hey man, let me tell you something. And the only reason why we're raising hell is because we are not privy to even you know, when you talk about Beyonce concert tickets and all the things that go with the top stars in the world, whether it's athletic or entertainment, it's, you know, you got to pay to play, you know, and then that's why these mega stars are who they are, because again, the best of the best, the wealthiest of the wealthy, they want to be in the crowd.
DJ, right now, there are 2 tickets available on StubHub for the grounds at $6,847 on StubHub.
You think we
that's each.
You think I can come up with 3,000 there? Can you come up with the other 3?
Well,
but that was only 1 ticket though, right?
Yeah, we need 12,000. We need 12.
Boy,
we're a little. We can
God.
split the ticket. You can go in for the first half of the day. I'll sit in the car. Yeah, go the second.
But there's
half
no
of the day.
in and outs. Remember? No.
Well, then. So if you would have told me that, DJ, be listen, man, I can't come out. They won't let me leave. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, man, I tell you, we're having fun with that. But you know, when we got Cedric coming up in a little bit as well. Jack's coming up hopefully here in just a little bit. But those guys, or at least Cedric in particularly, you know, he works on the PGA Tour. He's a caddy on the PGA Tour, so he's not working the Masters today, I don't think, but he can give us, you know, all the entities and the niceties that come with. Now, again, he might not necessarily know what the customers and but he behind the scenes, you know,
he knows what's going on.
You know, who's cooking for the golfers? You know, what do they wear? What's expected and how do they do it? And the habits, do they have any? You know, are they? You know, it's kind of like baseball players. Are they superstitious? Do they come in with one sock rolled up, one sock rolled down? I mean, we could ask him all kind of stuff.
And I would feel like they would. I feel like sports like baseball, when you're on an island, golf, obviously, tennis, when it's only you, and I still feel like even team sports, people get superstitious. Ask Dan Hurley, he wears the same suit, seems like every game for UConn. He says he was getting a hole in it from wearing it so much. So I don't know. I'm interested in hearing what Cedric's got to tell us.
I heard one of the golfers, he likes to wear his drawers inside out. You know, he just, you know, every, and that's just on Sundays. You know, like Tiger used to wear the red jacket, and that's what I'm wearing in honor of Tiger today.
There we go,
that's
Tiger Sunday.
Yeah. Hey, look, let's take a short break. When we come back, we're going to have the man himself from down at the 90th Masters, Jack Patterson, coming up next on the SportsVisions Morning Show.
I just got the key, they let me in. No ID, doors opening up for me, and now I see. I've been blind for a while now.
You are listening to the SportsVisions Morning Show. SportsVisions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Tiffany Maddox with a look at your morning's headlines. Guilty on all counts, including murder and gang charges, is the verdict for 3 people involved in the 2016 Peachtree Mall shooting. Police say the 3 defendants shot Anthony Meredith to death as an act of revenge. A sentencing date is set for May 8th. And the ongoing drought in the Chattahoochee Valley is impacting local farmers. Many farmers are wondering if they'll be able to plant hay and other crops during this season. Farmers are waiting until they can get enough rain to plant crops, or they'll be forced to suspend sales and cut orders in the fall. Meanwhile, the Russell County Commission is working to make changes with the intersection at Highway 431 and Highway 165 by meeting with leadership in Montgomery and pushing to make the issue a priority, because it's creating traffic problems for many drivers. For WRBL News 3, I'm Tiffany Maddox. Make it a great day.
Good Thursday morning. We're off to a chilly start again with the temperatures near 50 and a couple of clouds across the region. But expect more sun this afternoon, along with seasonal temperatures climbing into the mid-70s. Tonight, mostly clear and seasonal again, temperatures near 50. We're going to be ending the week with afternoon temperatures closer to 80. We don't see high temperatures in the 80s until over the weekend as a dry weather pattern continues in the extended forecast.
To get the full story, visit SportsVisions921.com and click on the WRBL tab. SportsVisions 92.1.
Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call. Because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at crazy low prices. They have access to great prices and discounts at over 500 different airlines. Plus 300,000 hotels and rental car companies. Their prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find the best price for you. Call SmartFares today and get ready to see the world with a fat wallet.
800-871-3291. 800-871-3291. 800-871-3291. That's 800-871-3291.
Let me bring up something that everyone always asks. Do you buy vehicles? Yes, we buy vehicles at Bratton Automotive. And also, I give top dollar. Bring your vehicle to me. It will take 10 minutes, and I will give you a written appraisal. At Bratton Automotive, everybody's going to leave with a smile.
Gotta get the Gills Auto Sales. We can finance, you got to get the Gills. Selection and price, got to get the Gills. Gotta get the Gills.
Happy 40th anniversary to Gills Auto Sales. This will be a year-long celebration with inventory of deals like you haven't seen in a long time. Every lot in Gills' lineup is stocked with a car, truck, or SUV that you've been dreaming about. Hey, want to save more than ever before on the vehicle of your dreams during the 40th anniversary celebration? You gotta get to Gills.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the SportsVisions morning show. Let's get back to DJ and Thrift on SportsVisions 92.1.
Good Thursday morning. He checks in at 6'2", 265 pounds. From the corners of Amen Corner in Augusta, Georgia, Jack Patterson. Good morning, Jack.
Man, it's always good to hear Mark Morrison on a Thursday morning. What's good, fellas?
Hey, man, I just, just glad that we are able to talk to a guy that, has one up to us. He's down at, of course, the Masters, man. I understand that you're in the clubhouse right outside of Amen's Corner.
I wish I was in the clubhouse right outside the Amen Corner. I'm back on the east side, DJ.
Okay,
but we got back late last night. But man, Augusta National is special.
Yeah.
Augusta National is special. And I think the overarching sentiment is if you ever have a chance to go, okay, whether somebody invites you, whether you're lucky enough to win the lottery, go.
Mm-hmm.
In the store.
Mm-hmm.
In the store. Go.
Yeah. Yeah. But, Thrift was he was entertaining us with the prices of those sandwiches and those Cokes and the chips and how cheap it was. And I say, you damn right it is when it costs $2,000 to to have an opportunity to walk one day of the Masters.
That's the resale price, DJ.
Okay.
That's the resale price.
But if you
were lucky enough to win the lottery, the practice rounds, $100. Yeah. Okay. And
yeah,
the tournament rounds are no more than $160. And that includes the final round.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's all about the lottery. The astronomical prices is just the resale because it's so hard to win a spot in that. It's so hard to win the lottery.
Yeah.
So if you ever win that's why I say if you ever win the lottery, I'm sorry, but go. Okay. Because that's like a once in a lifetime thing. And like I said, once you get the lottery, the Masters is probably one of the cheapest major sporting events in the world. Because like I said, the tickets like $100, $150, $160 for a day. Okay. And you just talked about the concessions. Really, the only expensive thing you would have on your trip would be if you decide to go to the pro shop.
Yeah.
And trying to find a place to stay in Augusta. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like those would really be your only expenses.
I tell you what, I'm going to put a disclaimer on that lottery because, again, we don't know. I know that there's tens of thousands of people that are walking the galleries each day. But, again, how many tickets do they actually put up for the lottery? It could be 1,500, 2,000. That number That's what makes it, that's what makes it so hard. I don't know how many. Do you know how many tickets do they actually have to put in the lottery?
I don't know how many they allot for each day.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know the exact number, but like I said, that's what makes, that's why I say it. Like I said, say it with that importance. Like if you ever sign up for the lottery, okay. And I know people who have, signed up for the lottery and been selected. Okay. So it's not like it's impossible. Okay.
Damn near though.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you ever do get selected, go. But that's why when you go on the resale market, it's so expensive. And here's the thing, Augusta National's trying to cut back on that too. Okay. I can't tell you how many times, we were hearing when we were out there, they're talking to, we were talking to the Augusta stations up there, and they're enacting ways to where if you don't, because every ticket, once you get the ticket, your name's attached to it.
Yeah.
And basically they're trying to create measures to where once you get it, you can't sell it.
Yeah. Yeah. Same thing. It was Super Bowl tickets, World Series tickets. Yeah. Yeah. So I get it.
That's something that they're working on. But like I said, if the opportunity ever comes, go.
All right. Now let's do this. Cause again, I made mention when you were down there, you were staying in Columbia. Did Dawn Staley, by the way, did she ever text you back?
I did not get a text back from Coach Staley. I did not get a response back from the University of South Carolina either.
Okay.
So like I said,
you tried.
I shot my shot.
Yep. You shot your shot, man. Listen, now that you're back, again, I just it intrigues me to find out how you're going to put your schedule together with, of course, with the baseball going on now, of course, here locally, with the tournaments coming up, and how are you going to, you're going to stack your deck with you and Tyler.
So listen, we're coming back hitting the ground running, okay? Because we got a lot of things going on. We're talking Clingstones later today. We're going to be doing athletes of the week either later today or tomorrow. So we're going to be hitting the ground running. Baseball, obviously, we're getting down to the end of the regular season in both states. So, and not only that, but we got spring football coming to an end for college football. So it's really just hitting the ground running, catching back up. So that's honestly what I spent last night doing is, okay, I've been kind of, laser focused on the Masters for the last 3-4 days. And keep in mind, I still got to be focused on the Masters because the tournament starts today, and we still have plenty of ties, including Columbus's Russell Henley, who's going to be teeing off around, I want to say 9-10 o'clock this morning. So, we have plenty of ties in the Masters that we're going to be following, but, it's going to be keeping tabs on the Masters, then catching up with high school as they get ready, they're in the stretch run. So we're going to be talking region champions. We're going to be talking playoff spots over the next, say, couple of weeks. And then, get ready for the end of spring football because we got, I want to say everybody's spring game is next Saturday, I think. I know Georgia and Auburn is next Saturday, and I want to say Alabama is too. So, like I said, we're coming up to the end of that as well. So, like I said, we got a lot going on. So there's no, taking it easy, hey, you just got back, you got back last night, take Thursday, take it slow. We don't have time to do that. Plus, we got a couple of projects we're working on in the sports office too. So, like I said, no rest for the weary. We're all hitting the ground running.
Kaylin DeBoer just texted me, Jack, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should know when we're playing. It's actually this Saturday. April 11th. So I'm sorry about that. Kaylin was really upset with you. I know y'all are really close, man. So I'm sorry you had to do that, Jack. No, I had no idea either. It is this Saturday, April 11th.
Listen, that actually makes me happy, okay? Because that way you're not trying to juggle 3 spring games on the same day. Instead, 2 is still tough, but 3 is like, okay. Yeah. Hey, producer, can I just have the half of the show? DJ, you know how that works.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday we were talking about what happened between Jorge Soler and Ronaldo Lopez. They were throwing blows. By the way, I listened to Ben Ingram's call on the radio. What an absolutely immaculate call. Just a beautiful way, painting the picture. They're rumbling, they're tumbling. I really like Ben. He's great at his job, and I love what he does for the Braves. But we have people comment talking about baseball and why pitchers throw at the heads of the batters. And I've gotten texts and responses after the show saying what I said yesterday, that the pitchers know exactly what they're doing. They have full control, and their thing is, well, prove it. Prove it. He was trying to hit Jorge. Here's my thing. No doubt in my mind, a professional athlete that is playing Major League Baseball that spends a lot of time on his craft does not have control of a baseball. And then on top of it, you got guys like Greg Maddux and all these pitchers coming out, Pedro Martinez saying, Roger Clemens, yeah, I hit him the next inning. They knew what was coming. So I'm not listening to it. Anytime I see a pitcher throw at a batter, I think they're up to something. What's your thoughts on that? And I think it should be banned from baseball.
Here's why I don't think Reynaldo threw at Soler, okay? Because it'd be one thing if, there was any kind of bad blood or anything like that. I mean, yeah, Soler hit a homer earlier in that game, okay? And, yeah, he had been hit by a pitch in that game as well, okay? Here's the thing. When Soler was hit by the pitch, there was 2 strikes in that count, Thrift, okay? Why on earth would you purposely hit somebody when there's 2 strikes in the count? Okay? And then on top of that, Lopez was having a great game, and he was up in the count on Soler, I want to say, when he that ball was thrown high. Okay? Like, once again, I get where you're coming from, but you have to take it on a case-by-case basis, okay? And, and I do get why you reference, all those pictures back in those days, but at the same time, it's like comparing apples to oranges, because not every at-bat situation is the same, okay? And like I said, when you go back and look at the counts that Soler was in with Lopez, like, it wouldn't make sense. It'd be different if Lopez came out the gate and was throwing at his head or throwing at him, soon as the at-bat starts. Then I would say, okay, he's trying to hit him, okay? But that wasn't the case. He wasn't, he was throwing strikes in the count. So why would you be throwing strikes in the count if you're trying to hit the guy? It doesn't make sense.
You're absolutely right. Yep.
So like I said, in this case, I don't think he was intentional. And I don't know if you saw this, Thrift, but John Boy had a pretty good breakdown of this. I watched it last night. Apparently, there was a misunderstanding because Soler is like, did you mean to do that? And Lopez is saying, no, I didn't. But he understood. He thought he said that he intentionally tried to do it. And once again, if you have a decent count against a guy, why would you intentionally try to throw at somebody? Okay, why would you want to throw that at bat away? And not only that, but get kicked out the game.
Yeah.
Okay, because let's keep in mind he was 1 out away from getting out the inning. Okay, so like I said, logistically, it just doesn't make sense.
Jack, let everybody know where they can find you on social media and when will they be able to watch you on television this evening.
All right, so you can find us on Twitter and Facebook. Follow us on social media. I'm at J Patterson TV. Sports teams at WRBL News 3 Sports on Facebook. And then watch us on TV, WRBL News 3, the CBS affiliate here in the Chattahoochee Valley. We got you covered with all things Masters. We'll be tackling high school football. My gosh. High school baseball. We'll be also catching up with college football and keeping you updated with the Masters. We got a lot going on. Be sure to stay locked in with us, and we'll have you covered.
As always, big guy, we appreciate you. Hey, have a great rest of your morning, all right?
Thanks, JP.
Appreciate it, fellas.
All right. Coming up in just a little bit, one of only 3 of the African-American PGA caddies on the tour. And he's going to give us all the action and all the information that we need to know about the Masters. I mean, this is our tournament. It's in our state. It's one of the best. It's the iconic. It's the 90th Masters. Don't go anywhere. Cedric Lamar coming up next on the Sports Visions Morning Show.
So jet for you tonight, and baby, you can go wherever you like. I said you can go wherever you like. Yeah. Anytime you want to pick up the telephone, you know it ain't nothing to drop a cup.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sports Visions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Catch me at 9 a.m. every weekday morning, right here on Sports Visions 92.1.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the AHSAA, are the 138,000 high school sports students in Alabama. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
Hey, Mike, let's talk about shelter at Valley Rescue Mission.
We have changed the model for shelters. It used to be you'd come in, we'd feed you, have a devotion, let you sleep, a breakfast the next morning, then you go back out into the world and the same things happen over and over and over. Now our shelters are, if you come to us and you're homeless, whether you're a woman with children, or a man, but you don't have a home, you can come and live with us 4 to 6 months, which gives you a time to get back on your feet, get a job, get your life put back together, and you have a safe, comfortable place that you can live while you're transitioning your life back into the real world, so to speak.
I was just reading that currently 19 out of 20 men at the shelter are working full-time.
Working full-time. And the same thing with the women. Many of them women are running from abusive situations. So where can they go to be safe, where their children will be safe? You can come to the Valley Rescue Mission.
To find out more, call 706-322-8267 or visit valleyrescuemission.org.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till Good RX wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
I put it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
Now back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Here's Denver Broncos 1987 AFC champion DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
I got my peaches out in Georgia. Oh, yeah.
Good Thursday morning and welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Big shout out to JR Zoning out there who's listening this morning. Gerald Beck, good morning. How you doing, my friend? Stanley Crowell, what's up? And all of our folks that are listening this morning, we appreciate you. And of course, it's nothing like Throwback Thursday with DJ and Thrift. Hey man, listen, I want to go ahead and let's do this right now. He's one of only 3 of the African-American PGA Tour caddies in the whole wide world. And his name is Cedric Lamar. He's with us this morning. Ced, what's up, man?
DJ, what's up, man? How you doing? Thrift, how you doing, man?
Good, man.
Really good, really good. We're exciting, man. The iconic Masters is here. And I know that I guess you're not working this particular weekend, but man, I tell you, give us a little information on how big the Masters is in your own words, Ced.
Well, DJ, I think this year, this is the 90th edition of the Masters.
Yes, sir.
And it's been played at the same course every year, Augusta National.
Yes.
That green jacket is, I guess that's the upper echelon of the PGA Tour. I mean, every player that starts playing golf from the age of 8, 9, 10, I mean, even 7 years old, they dream of making that last putt to win the Masters. So this is the like the Rose Bowl in football, this is the granddaddy of them all right here.
Yes, indeed. Man, listen, I know introducing you and putting reels out in little clips. And when I say, you know, you are one of only 3 African-American caddies on the PGA Tour. People like double clutch, and they like, what? You know, and I mean, so what I want you to do for the Sports Visions Nation, because again, you know, it is mind-boggling. I mean, golf is, and in the Masters, everybody is there. You know, whether they were baseball fans, football fans, soccer fans, all eyes and ears are on Augusta and of course the PGA Tour right now. But for the benefit of the people that don't know you, please take just a little time. You want to, take as much time as you want to walk us back through of how in the world could, where did you start and how could you end up being one of only three in 2026 African-American caddies on the PGA Tour?
DJ, it's been a tough road, man.
Yeah.
And as a little kid, my parents grew up probably 5 minutes from a golf course.
Okay.
And we would ride through the creek beds with our bikes. You know how they used to have the old cement creek beds.
Yeah.
And you could ride through. So we could ride through a creek bed, and we got to this one golf course, John A. White, and they always teed off from the top of the hill. So we said, man, you know what? When these guys tee off, we're going to get these balls. We're going to sell them. But every time they got to the bottom of the hill, DJ, they didn't have a ball. We had it. So the players complained, and Pro set up a sting operation. And came out and said, hey, man, listen, y'all can't do this. Y'all can't do this. And why don't y'all come up here and get you a job? But he was just talking. He knew we weren't old enough to get a job. He was just talking, but I showed up. And he was like, man, I can't hire you. He said, you're too young. I said, well, I got to do something. And so I started cleaning shoes with this guy. Back then we had club makers, they shine the woods and string up the woods, and we put Coca-Cola in a bucket. 5 Coca-Colas we put in a bucket. And back then they had beryllium copper clubs.
Yeah.
And man, when them things came out, they were shining like new. I mean, they thought we had some magic potion, but it was all Coca-Cola. We left them in the Coca-Cola overnight. Wow. And learn how to play, man. And anybody that plays golf know once you start, it's addictive.
Right.
I mean, it's really addictive. And we all started from the hundreds. Then I got to the 90s. Then I got to the 80s. And I got to the 70s. And I said, man, I can do this. So graduated from Morehouse, got me a assistant pro job.
Don't skip right over that. Now, you graduated from where?
Morehouse College.
Okay. All right.
The house, they call it in the ATL. And went on and got some assistant pro jobs. I met you at North Fulton.
Right.
And from there, it's just I had some buddies that played on the tour, and I was kind of like, man, I don't want to do this club pro stuff. And they said, man, why don't you come out on the tour and caddy? And I was like, what do they make? And it's crazy because the first caddy job I had, I made $500 for the week.
Okay.
$500. And at the time, $500 wasn't a lot of money, but they weren't making a lot of money.
Okay.
And that was on the, I think it was the nationwide tour. And then all of a sudden, this guy named Tiger Woods showed up. And when he showed up, DJ, the money showed up.
Okay.
And at that time on the PGA Tour, it was mostly black caddies that caddied. Very, very few white caddies caddied before pre-Tiger. And then when Tiger showed up, he was winning TV exposure, contracts on TV. went up for the golf network, and all of a sudden that pay went up from 500, 600, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, and then the black guys disappeared.
Wow.
The black guys disappeared. Money can do a lot of strange things in a lot of situations.
Say it. Say it.
In golf, it really diminished the black caddy. It really diminished the black caddy. And people ask me all the time, man, are you the only guy black caddy here this week? Yeah, I say, oh, yes, I am. Or they may say, I saw another black caddy. Who does he work for? He works for this guy. How many of you are this week? Well, maybe 2, maybe 3. But it's 156 players in the field. So that means it's 153 Caucasian caddies or other caddies who are not black. Because we do have some caddies that are not Caucasian. And it's a thing where if you're a professional, you never seem like you're not supposed to be part of the program. I mean, all professionals, no matter your color, if you're in the arena, you're there because you belong there.
Cedric Lamar is our guest this morning on the SportsVisions Morning Show, and Cedric is, of course, an active caddy on the PGA Tour. He's enlightening us now on his career path and how he is, of course, and I'm enjoying it. Said I just wanted to make sure that if we had some people that just joined us, they want to say, well, who is this talking? So now they know. You can continue. Please continue.
And I 2026, you say have things changed? The years change, the days change. The sun is probably positioned in a different direction. But a lot of things still remain the same. A lot of things still remain the same. And golf, it's a great game. It's given me a lot of great opportunities. But I've been all over the world, DJ. Passport number 3.
Yeah.
But what I would tell the young black kids or any kid that wants to get into the golf game, being a professional caddy, the sky's the limit to whatever you want to do.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And
whether you want to be a doctor, a caddy, a neurosurgeon, it doesn't matter where you started. It all matters where you're in. We sometimes grow up already in the negative. But you have to keep proving each and every day who you are, what you represent, and what you stand for. And the worst part about life is all you need is one mistake and it all goes away.
So let me do this here, because I know I don't want to, again, it's very, very valuable and great information that you're sharing with us, but I want to make sure that we have enough time for you to talk about, again, as we have the Masters, we're here today is day 1, and we're going to play for the next 3 days. The experience, talk to us about, the caddies there. I mean, are there, apparently, are there not any black caddies in Augusta today?
I don't think it's one in the tournament this week, DJ.
Okay. We'll move on. And as far as the distinguishing honor of being the tournament of all tournaments, what put us in the path for the 90th Masters to be the greatest of all tournaments? And I assume, you're the golf guy. Is this the tournament of all tournaments that they play?
I would say so. I would say so. Very few tournaments you can just have an ad come on TV and the music comes on, and when that music comes on, people know that music belongs to the Masters.
Yeah. Yeah.
That music is special. And when it comes on a commercial, if you anything close to golf, that commercial is attached to the Masters.
Now, when you talk about the best players in the world and the guys that have already won championships or won the green jacket, they automatically are exempted and they're in.
So
what's the selection?
If you're a tournament winner, if you win a tournament during the year, you get in the Masters.
Any tournament on the PGA Tour?
Well, not any tournament. So we have what they call opposite field events.
Okay.
So we may have 2 tournaments on the same week. One is an elevated tournament, and one is just a tournament where the people who are in the elevated tournament, they play. If a player wins the opposite field tournament, he doesn't get in the Masters. So it's the elevated tournaments and the tournaments other than the opposite field events. Or I think it's top 60 in the world gets you in the Masters. They do have a few invites that gets you in the Masters. The U.S. amateur champion, he gets in the Masters. The British amateur champion gets in the Masters. The Latin amateur champion, he gets in the Masters. So it's a few ways to get in the Masters, but that's one of the few places in golf where all the top 20, 25 guys show up at the same time.
Cedric, when you're seeing how to attack, and you're talking to your golfer, and you're saying, how do we attack these next 4 days? Very rarely do you see someone go from start to finish. Tiger's done it. Jordan Spieth's done it. And I know there's probably been others too that I'm leaving off right now, but it is not as frequent as someone that maybe have a rough first couple of days, and all of a sudden they turn it on Saturday and Sunday. They're your Masters champion. How do you attack it? Do you want to get off to the hot start on Thursday, knowing that's really hard to maintain? How do you go about doing this 4-day thing, knowing the champion's not till Sunday?
Well, I would just say, that tournament is basically decided on Sunday. And Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, of course, those are position days. You always want to be close to the top. But it's so many different lies on that course. When you look at it on TV, it looks sort of flat, but it's not a level lie on that course. There's a lot of side hill shots, a lot of fade shots, fade shots off the. So you have to be able to hit all kind of different shots on that course. It's not a flat course. Different wind directions blowing through those trees. So each day, each shot is a test, and to do it 4 days, you're going to miss some shots. You're going to hit some bad shots. So you just have to keep plugging along. And hopefully when you get to Sunday, you can get on that back nine and be pretty close where you can make a move.
He is PGA Tour caddy Cedric Lamar. And said, let's get to the part where obviously I was going to say like what the young folks want to know, but hell, everybody wants to know today, especially when you're dealing with professional sports and and particularly golf. The pay scale as far as the higher ranked guys are the ones that make the lion's share of the money, and again, how does that equate to the caddies and how they break off their team, whether it's a caddy or whether it's a nutritionist or a manager, or how many people that they have on their staff?
Well, the top guys, they have of course, they have caddy, swing coach. They have nutritionists. They have physio people. So I get some teams probably have other than the some teams probably have 5 or 6 people that comprise that team.
Yeah, didn't know that.
Yeah, traveling coordinators. So it's probably 5 or 6. Probably have 5 or 6, 7 people that comprise the whole team for the player.
Now, how's the money part of that? Again, I may mention that. Is it safe to assume that all the top earners will be, of course, playing in Augusta? But for that matter, though, is there some that are not?
You do have some guys that didn't qualify that are good players. I mean, Billy Horschel, he's not in the Masters this year. Tony Finau, he's not playing in the Masters.
Oh, wow.
Ricky Fowler, he's not playing in the Masters this year. So you do have some good names that are and good players who've had great careers who are not playing in the Masters. But it's a qualification to play. It's not an open tournament. So you have to qualify. So unfortunately, sometimes that web catches a few people. But like anything else, I mean, the best people in sports, in their professions, they always prevail, and they always play in the best events.
Cedric, everyone wants that next dominant golfer. We try to do it with Rory, and then he goes 10 years between winning majors. He's got 5. He had 4 in his first 3 years, and then didn't win another one until last Masters last year. And then on top of with Rory, Jordan Spieth. I mean, talking about someone that dominated the Masters at a young age, and he has not won a major since then. Why is it so tough for us to find someone that can just dominate the sport? Brooks Koepka had a run for about 2 years, and then he's kind of falling off. Why can't we have guys that had that long sustained success like Tiger did?
Well, it's tough. It's tough, Thrift. If you played on a football team and you won a Super Bowl, 63 people can say they won a Super Bowl. 63 people can say, man, we won a Super Bowl.
Right.
But in a golf tournament, can't but one say they won.
So true.
Man, it's tough. It's tough to be that one guy.
So
I mean,
what is the
it's tough.
mindset? Can you share? I know you've been around, and if you hadn't, I know you've been around football players and basketball players when you were back in your golf pro days. But the mentality and the experience of being around these type of athletes mentally, as you see it, what separates the top golfers from the top athletes in those other sports from a mental standpoint?
I would say in football. I never played pro football, DJ. You played pro football. The action, if you're on defense, the action seems to be, from my standpoint, pretty quick. You got 4 downs, so it's pretty quick movement. They get a first down, it's 4 more downs, pretty quick movement. In golf, you hit and then you walk. From the time you hit and walk could be 2 or 3 minutes. In other pro sports, the action moves so fast that the mind can't drift. In golf, the mind drifts because you have that idle time walking to the next shot. If you hit a bad shot, you're trying to hold that player in a frame of mind that he can erase it before he gets to the next shot, because he has a lot of time to think about it before he hits the next shot. In football, if they throw a pass and it's a touchdown, they kick in the extra point.
Right.
But in golf, it's a continuous walk with idle time. You hit, idle time. You putt, idle time. You walk into the next tee box, it's idle time. The best players in the world are able to control their mind and emotions through that idle time.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Now, here we are. I know we're up against the clock, but, Thrift, did you have something? My final question for you, and I know that again, I could talk to you another 30 minutes, but for the sake of time, who do you think will be the top in this tournament? Obviously, I know that you got guys coming in from the Live Tour, you got guys in the PGA Tour. Who is your selection? If you were betting man on this tournament, who you think's going to come in? Who's going to win?
I would say McIlroy.
Okay.
You'll go back to
McIlroy. Once he won and got the monkey off his back, I think he'll keep moving forward.
Good stuff. Hey, man, we appreciate you, Cedric. You know what? You have definitely informed and enlightened the Sports Visions Nation this morning, man. Listen, we got to catch back up, man. And
we will, man.
After this Masters tournament is over, and again, when you are on the other side of the world, and you got to talk to us before you head out, man. So I'll get with you, and we'll work that out. But you have a great rest of your morning, my friend.
Thanks. Okay, Thrift. Y'all be good, man. DJ, be good, man.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Cedric Lamar. Can you imagine Thrift? Just again, I mean, not just the fact that he's the only African American, or at least the one of three, but the fact that he's one of so few caddies. Because again, professional golf is that's just not something that people can do. I mean, from when you're talking NBA and you're talking Major League Baseball, you're talking hockey, all the professional ranks, golf has to be has the least amount of professionals that are considered PGA Tour worthy.
And 100%. And it's why that's one of the most prestigious sports to play and try to dominate. Looking forward to seeing Rory, Brooks Koepka, some of the best battle it out this weekend at the Masters.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have an opportunity to talk to one of those guys that understands what addiction is all about. He's an addiction coach with, of course, New Horizons. His name is John Burdeshaw, and we'll have him on next. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WLTC HD2, Sports Visions 921. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
If it's local, it's on the Sports Visions Morning Show with former Georgia Bulldog DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Attorney advertising, Lake Swan, 4751 Best Road, College Park, Atlanta, Georgia, 921-200-7066. Paid actor dramatization. Top dogs not mean we are the best. No guarantees of success.
Just had a dream. It was really, really scary. Really, really spooky. I was in the accident. There was a dog there. The dog was trying to get me. The dog was trying to bite me. So I had to run. I ran across the street. I was running really fast. But the dog was faster. And the dog caught me. The dog started biting me real bad. Started screaming. Like somebody help me. While the dog was biting me, the car hit me. The dream getting weird. A car hit me. The guy get out of his car to check to see if I'm cool. Then the dog started biting him. They screaming, top dog. Any accident, make the call. Top dog law.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I own a coffee shop, and I wanted to label everything with our logo.
That's ambitious.
Cups, boxes, bags.
Ooh, that'll add up.
Not at all. Because right now, Staples prints custom labels for 30% off.
30% off? That's shockingly affordable branding.
Yep. Now our logo and URL are seen all over town.
Brand your business for less at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in store, online, or in the app by 4/18 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
I'm Shanola Hampton. Every day, millions of people face hunger. Today, I will share with you some of their experiences. I'm stuck between paying for medications or paying for food. John from Maine. After paying my bills, I can buy groceries. It's sad to say, food comes last. Alice from Oregon. I thought pantries were for less fortunate people, but anybody could be less fortunate in a day or even a second. Claire from Virginia. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. No one should have to worry where their next meal will come from. Together, we can end hunger. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
Boost your team's productivity and morale with this workplace tip from Cintas. A well-maintained uniform helps your team look and feel more professional. Don't leave their appearance to chance. Let Cintas handle your team's uniforms. With their Apparel Plus program, Cintas picks up, launders, and delivers fresh work apparel back to you, so your employees focus on doing their jobs, not their laundry. Learn more about Apparel Plus at Cintas.com.
At BritBox, character is everything. Stream the iconic characters defining British TV on BritBox, including Ludwig.
I think I might just have solved a murder.
Vera.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Agatha Christie's Poirot.
Bonjour.
And more beloved favourites.
I'm a policeman. I'm a professional. I'm a Time Lord.
I'm the Duchess of York. Once you know them, you never quite forget them.
I ain't being vain. I just am special.
Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Watch with a free trial today at BritBox.com.
WLTC HD2 Casita and W221DP Columbus. You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1. The only live and local sports morning show. It's the Sports Visions Morning Show with Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Famer DJ Jones and Rich Barringer on Sports Visions 92.1.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. And just like that, Thrift's out and Richie Rich is in. Of course, welcome back, Richie. How you doing, bud?
Great to be back in the studio, DJ, and that's why I played this song. We're shaking things up a little bit.
All right. Hey, man, listen. Big shout out to, of course, Cedric Lamar. He is a PGA Tour caddy, and we had the opportunity to get some inside information from him and on according to the tour, and get a little history on being a caddy on the PGA Tour and some of the things that it takes. But more importantly, we got our next guest is a guy that's going to help us understand the most recent situation and probably the biggest story in golf right now. And of course, that's Tiger Woods being stopped. Of course, had an accident, a week or so ago and rolled his vehicle and had some problems with some injuries. He's going through a lot of pain, but he's apparently a lot of prescription medicine that he's had to deal with over the many surgeries on both his back and his lower extremities. But please welcome from New Horizons. He is a recovery coach, and his name is John Burdeshaw. How you doing, John?
I'm doing great. Good morning.
Good. Did I pronounce your name correctly, first of all?
You did. Yes, it's Burdeshaw, John Burdeshaw.
Burdeshaw. Hey, man, congratulations. And thank you for being a part of what we want to do is hopefully educate and inform the Sports Visions Nation this morning about addiction. And why don't we do this? Why don't we, in order to say, well, how can John help us understand what Tiger's going through? Well, maybe he can, but maybe he can't. But I want you to let these folks out here know your expertise and why I wanted to bring you on to talk a little bit about Tiger's problem and some other folks that have problems with addiction.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I'm John Burdeshaw. I am a blessed recovering addict. I have my past is I've been locked up a dozen times. I did some time in prison. I went to 4 different rehabs. I OD'd a few times. I was shooting up meth and heroin on and off for 20 years. But God's been good to me because I got on track through New Horizons myself. I went to a 6-month rehab 11 years ago under New Horizons called Journey to Recovery. I was homeless before I went in, and so that helped me out tremendously. They put me in an aftercare apartment afterwards. I was able to save up and get a house. I met my wife at that time. She's also in recovery. She was in drug court. And so we got our house and got on track and got custody of all our children, and God's been really good to us. We've been married 10 years now. So currently I work as a recovery coach at Connections here in Columbus, Georgia. Connections is a hangout for people in addiction or people that support others in addiction. It's a fun spot to come hang out at. We've got 2 70-inch flat screen TVs with couches around them. We watch sports and movies. We've got computers where people go on Facebook or we help them get jobs. There's a pool table and a ping pong table there. We grill out regularly. To work at Connections, you have to be in recovery from addiction. We're all just peers helping other peers as recovery coaches. And so it's a lot of fun. There's someone can come by for 5 minutes or 5 hours. You don't need an appointment or anything of that nature. We hold NA meetings throughout the day. And so So I definitely have stepped into my calling and my purpose as a recovery coach here in Columbus, Georgia, helping other people in recovery. So that's some of my background, what we have going on right now. But yeah, the situation with Tiger, you know, I've seen a similar situation in my life, my wife's, a lot of my friends. I grew up playing golf, and I played for Central High School's golf team in Phoenix City. And so Tiger's my age, so I've been following him since he was in the amateurs. Before anyone else knew who he was, I was watching the amateur tournaments that he was winning. And so I've tracked him throughout his entire career, from the start until now. So it has been a tough situation for Tiger lately.
Tell you, John, thank you for, of course, joining us this morning, and hopefully we'll have a better understanding of what addiction is like. But, you know, when the folks that are listening out there say, yeah, I hear all of that, but what can John tell us? He's not a billionaire. He's not Tiger Woods. He's not blah, blah, blah. I mean, realistically, it's not about, you know, your skill set or your God's gift. It's about addiction. And, you know, it hits a lot of different problems, a lot of different people. I don't care what tax bracket you're in, but you know, we want to what I'd like to do is I would try to get a better handle on understanding how you can become addicted to. And again, I know people are addicted to a lot of different things. They're like addicted to foods, they're addicted to drugs, they're addicted to sex, they're addicted to alcohol. But in this case, the guy who has it all, I mean, a guy who is royalty, but he's had multiple surgeries. He's had, and of course, we know his issues with his body. The painkillers, man. Talk to me about how, you know, and again, is it just about controlling the pain, or is it something else?
Okay, well, yes. I think it's in part controlling the pain, and the other part is addiction, and some of it is getting high from it. You know, pills were one of my drug choice and my wife's. I was taking Vicodin and Lorcet, hydrocodone. And that just kept where I took more and more. I was taking 10 of them at a time. You're supposed to take one from the doctor. And I got to where I was taking 10 at a time. Moved from there to Oxycontin, and then from there to methadone, and then there from heroin. It's a process a lot of people go through. But a lot of the time, for sure, it starts with the surgeries from people that never have done drugs before, just like Tiger went through. He had 7 back surgeries, and then several surgeries on his leg after his wrecks. And so, yeah, it starts that way, and then your addiction just builds from there. So it's tough being Tiger that he does have an unlimited amount of money, and being able to get whatever prescriptions that he needs makes it even more challenging, because the doctors have pulled back on prescribing the pain medication as much as what they used to. But yeah, that's a big part. It slowly sneaks in on you until you're addicted to the pills and the medication from the doctors. And so with Tiger struggling like that, there's strength in numbers, you know, getting around other people in recovery regularly and staying in close knit with people in recovery to hold each other accountable. That's a huge part of recovery, is being connected with other people that are going through similar struggles, and spending time with them regularly, keeping each other updated. I've got a lot of friends that hold me accountable in my recovery. There's strength in numbers for sure. And so that's part of it. You know, working the steps of Narcotics Anonymous would be a huge help. I wouldn't be surprised if Tiger is already doing that. But if not, working the 12 steps is a big part. For me, spirituality also, making it to church on Sunday helps my recovery. It's like finding balance with a number of different things. And one of the most important things in recovery is finding hobbies to do, keeping yourself busy, finding new hobbies to do, and having fun is just as important in recovery as anything else.
John, talk about that process from being an addict to recovery, because it doesn't happen overnight. You got to admit that you have a problem. What's the steps to get to recovery, and what's the support system usually like trying to get these addicts into recovery?
Yes. So with my case, the process was I was homeless for such a long time, and God had it lined up where nothing was going my way. The struggle was real, and it was just getting worse and worse and worse. And so my process was I started praying every day, walking from place to place with my backpack homeless, saying, God, if you make a way out of these streets for me, I'm going to follow you out this time, but I need a lot of help, and I can't do it without you. And I was praying that every day for a few weeks before I ran across a close friend that seen how rough that I looked and was doing and recommended me to go to Journey to Recovery. What I needed to get into recovery at that time was desperation. I had to hit that point of completely and totally desperate. Then I was ready. You got to be ready to do it for yourself, and being desperate is a good spot to be at to go into recovery. But yeah, you're right. The first thing that we have to do is admit that we have a problem. And then once we do that, it's reaching out to resources. I got a lot of people into recovery in a bunch of different ways. Some people need to go to a rehab out of town, to get away from everything. Some people need a short rehab. Some people just would go to some classes during the daytime. Everybody's recovery is different, but mine was drastic. I needed to let Journey to Recovery, the rehab, sit me down, separate me from everything, and help me get on track. So it's a number of different processes, but for me, desperation is what had me ready for recovery.
He is a recovery coach. His name is John Burdeshaw, and of course, we're talking recovery. And of course, with we're at the Masters right now with regards to the season that we're in. And one of the most iconic golfers of all time, Tiger Woods, has had a recent setback of several that he's had over the course of his career with addiction, and again, more importantly, pain pills. Now, again, John, we want to be sensitive, and we know and we understand, because I know folks that are listening out there were saying, hey, look, Tiger's, is a billionaire, and money is not an object, and he's not going to be homeless, and he doesn't worry about that. And we understand that your situation and Tiger's situation are totally opposite, but there's a common denominator as far as mindset that I think, and this is where it really gets tough, when you, of course, convince yourself that you need help and you want to follow the plan and stay disciplined to the course. And when you're a guy that has it all, you got private planes, and you can, they're giving him permission to go out of the country to get treatment. And of course, he has the, gazillion-dollar estate in Florida and other places. I mean, I think that it might be a little bit more challenging for him, because he is a guy that has everything. He don't have to, or at least he didn't think he has to listen to anybody. But talk to us about those parts of it, because again, the mental health aspect in my mind comes into play, because you and only you can decide to get better.
Yes, I think that was very well said about Tiger. Unlimited money might make it more challenging for him than others, for sure. But at some point, with our situations, when we get where enough is enough, where we realize this is really making a negative impact in my life. And I really think things coming to a head like this with Tiger, and it being so many times, he's got that great opportunity to say, this it's gone too far. I'm ready to turn this thing around. And so yeah, I think just being tired of being tired and fed up is a good spot to be at. And this definitely has a chance for Tiger to get to that point where I've got to turn this around long-term for myself, for my family, for my fans, because I'm a huge Tiger fan. I always have been, always will be. We're pulling for him. And so, but yeah, it is more challenging whenever you have unlimited resources like that. But I think also, like I just said, where you get to the point where you're sick and tired of everything you've been through, that's a good spot to be at to try to turn things around also.
Well, John, as a sports fan, I tend to be selfish when it comes to wanting my favorite star players to come back on the golf course or on the basketball court, but there's not a timetable to try to get a recovery from an addiction. But when you talk about other athletes besides Tiger that is going through recovery after addiction, what is like just the mindset? Because you don't want to rush this thing, but also there is a possibility of some of these athletes to return, but you want them to get right and not come back to an addiction. So is that a lengthy step as well, as far as like not just getting recovered from addiction, but continuing to maintain staying away from that addiction?
Yes. Staying on track in recovery, a sponsor would be a great idea through Narcotics Anonymous. Someone that you call daily to check in with, work the steps with. And so, yes, maintaining our recovery is very important. Like, we don't want to get complacent in our recovery. Like, once we get on track, we want to stay on track. And so, so working, it's one day at a time. Each day we got one day at a time in recovery, and not trying to look too far ahead. And so, if Tiger can get plugged into the right people and Narcotics Anonymous or other people around, I know that he lives in Jupiter, Florida, so I'm not sure how many meetings that they have there, but things like that could help us to stay on track in recovery. And once we get going and we get momentum and we starting to feel really good about ourselves and see the change that we're making, that's very encouraging too. Like, once you hit a certain point, you don't want to go backtrack because you've come so far. So maintaining our recovery, like I'm always saying, is there's strength in numbers, and staying plugged into everyone around us is the best way to stay on track in our recovery.
John, again, thank you so much for joining us. But again, we're talking to some people that, or at least, that are listening right now. They might be able to understand, what Tiger is going through. They might be able to understand what you're going through. And certainly some might not be able to understand what either one of you are going through. But for the sake of the folks that are listening, this is something. Recovery is never ending. And you may mention that, again, this is a process that you and your wife have been dealing with, and Tiger's going to have to deal with it for the rest of his life. Talk to us about, again, the habits, the places that you go, the people that you hang out with, and the company that you keep is very, very important when you're on your road to recovery.
Yes, it is. Like, in recovery, it's got to be a before and after in our lives. I have to draw the line there. It's before and after. Like, here's the people I was hanging out with before, or here's what was happening. And then we need to keep our circle small, and going around the wrong group of friends can get us in our recovery regularly. Learning the recovery tools. There's a lot of tools that you can learn in recovery to help. Like, even after 11 years in recovery, I still have drug dreams at night. I still think about drugs, and it'll get my heart going a little bit sometimes, where I still fiend or think about them. And one of the tools that helped me is to change the channel in my mind. Like, I was taught that, you catch it, check it, change it, where you catch that thought, oh, I'm thinking about the drugs now, and you kick it out of your head and you think on something different. There's a lot of tools like that in recovery that you can learn to help you stay on track long term. And like I said, you don't want to get complacent. Recovery is one day at a time. And so, even 11 years in recovery, I still battle with thinking about drugs occasionally and dreaming about drugs at night. So I don't think that it ever goes away, but since I've learned so many tools in recovery, I've been able to maintain it and stay on track. But a lot of it is accountability. If I'm not doing well, I got a lot of friends checking in on me regularly to see how I'm doing. Like, so if I wasn't showing up in recovery places, people would be like, where's John? What's going on with him? So, so that's the big part of my recovery, is always having friends around me in recovery. But yes, I still battle with thoughts about drugs, and I have to use the tools that I've learned in recovery to stay on track.
That's a good point. And it's also important to have a very strong support system that knows your background. So if they end up slipping, that they're not being a bad influence on that person that is trying to recover. How important is that strong support system that knows all the facts, that if there's somebody that's recovering from being an alcoholic, they know not to drink in front of them. And that's very important, especially when you have a support system that's trying to get you back on track.
Yes. People knowing your story, your background, what your triggers could be. Absolutely. Folks, that alcohol is one of my drugs of choice. And so drinking always led me to other drugs. And so, if other people knowing your story, everything that's going on, when you open up to some people, it does make it where they know not to drink around you. They know what you struggle with and the strengths and what the help that you need. And to me, golf is a huge part of recovery. Going and having fun, separating that time like that to slow things down, go get in the golf cart with other people in recovery. We talk back and forth through all 18 holes and share about it. I also started a group called Recovery Adventures, where people in recovery get together and do fun and wild things together. We go skydiving every July at 14,000 feet. We go whitewater rafting and ride the zip lines every year. This Saturday, we're hiking into the top of the mountains, and we're camping by the edge of a cliff at the tallest point in the state of Alabama. So there's probably about 15 or 20 of us hiking up there that are all in recovery together, going camping up by the edge of a cliff. And it's beautiful up there. We all get together by the edge of the cliff and watch the sun go down. And so staying plugged in and having fun and things like that in recovery are so important. And so we get together and we go to the haunted house in October. We go to Six Flags, things like that. And those things are so important for us in recovery to replace the negative things that we were doing with positive things. And golf is a big part of that to me, is really spending time with other friends in recovery while we're playing golf.
He is John Burdeshaw, and he's a peer recovery coach, hospital liaison with, of course, New Horizons, and, of course, the connections with New Horizons Behavioral Health. Now, for the people that are just tuning in, or the people who've been with us listening the whole entire time, you might say, well, how did we get to this point? Why are we talking about this? Well, we're talking about this because I chose to help inform and educate the SportsVisions Nation based on one of the biggest stars in this game of golf, in conjunction with the biggest tournament in golf today, and that's the Masters that's going on right now. That starts actually today through Sunday. And Tiger Woods, the biggest name, one of the biggest names of all time, has an issue. And I'm looking at this as more of an awareness situation. And again, you might, as you listen, you're trying to figure out how you can disciple this conversation. Or let me give you something a little bit better. You might not necessarily have a problem, but I'm sure you have a friend or have relatives that you've been around, and whether you know they have a problem or not, this will give you a little bit more of an education, if you will, a little bit more information, if you will. And John, that's why I wanted you on to kind of talk about it. Not that we were going to be able to cure it all, but at least you can put us in a space where we can feel maybe a little bit more informed, have a little bit more education, and maybe be a little bit more helpful to our loved ones and or friends that perhaps might have a situation or a problem like this.
Yeah, so I think with another thing with Tiger is just having a plan in place, to each day, what I'm going to do if this situation comes up, and, I know, and then having, whether he catches Uber, to drive, or because he has had so many surgeries that some of that medication, he's probably going to be on long term. That's very challenging. I didn't have any injuries where I had to continue to take narcotics of some type. Tiger's dealing with that. That might be the rest of his life, that he might actually need that pain medicine from so many back surgeries and leg surgeries. And so, but having a plan in place would be great idea for Tiger. I got a personal driver when he needs them, or Uber, or things like that, so he doesn't get behind the wheel again. But and then having a family member that maybe helps him stay on track with the medication that he's taking, like a certain set each day aside for how much. Making a game plan like that could be a good option for Tiger to try to stay on track. But like I said, he is dealing with the fact that he's had 7 back surgeries and a few surgeries on his leg, where he might need that medication the rest of his life to get by. So so that does make it more challenging, that he can't just put it all down and walk away from it. But having a game plan and family at the house to help him stay on track with the driver and make sure that he gets just the amount of medication he needs for each day could be a good option for Tiger.
John, we're up against the clock. So my final question, or my final statement to you, is that if, in fact, someone is listening out there that needs support, that needs help, can you share whatever information it is, whether they get a hold of you or whether they get a hold of the facility? Give them the information on where would you recommend that they go.
They can come to Connections, stop by for 5 minutes or 5 hours. It's a very cool hangout spot for people in recovery. They can just stop by. The address to Connections is 4827 14th Avenue, Columbus, Georgia, 31904. My personal cell number is 706-593-3497. People could text me or give me a call anytime. I'll be able to guide them into recovery. And real quick, I want to give a shout out to my friend Randy. I know he's listening right now. I'm proud of him. He's come so far in recovery and he is killing it. And so I just wanted to congratulate Randy on that and everything he's doing and going above and beyond to help others around him.
Well, John, I appreciate your courage. I appreciate, you being, agreeing to come on board and to speak to a bunch of folks that you don't have no idea who they are, but I guarantee you're going to help someone, man. And I tell you what, you've helped me understand, how to help my community, how to help the SportsVisions Nation. And I tell you what, man, I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me on. Y'all have a blessed day.
All right, man. You have
Thanks,
a great rest of your day. Take care. All right. That's John Burdeshaw. Boy, I tell you, I saw that. I see it, but when you were looking at the spelling of it, I want to say Burdeshaw, but it's Burdeshaw, and the E is silent. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, man. And then that's the joy of having a platform of this magnitude. I often talk about it because, we talk stats. We talk games and scores and situations in sports, but we talk life. Yeah. And this is one of those life situations. And I just wanted to take the opportunity with all the prestige and all the attention that Tiger has garnered. Then this was a wonderful opportunity for me to bring John on to share with the SportsVisions Nation.
Yeah, if we impacted one person today, we did our jobs. We appreciate that John was able to come on this platform to share his story and change lives.
All right, Rich, let's go ahead and take a break and let you know you're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube. You are listening to WLTC HD2, SportsVisions 921. We are your hometown sports guys.
I'm sorry, 50 dub, I even got it tatted on me.
This is the SportsVisions Morning Show. Let's do this. SportsVisions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Tiffany Maddox with a look at your morning's headlines. Guilty on all counts, including murder and gang charges, is the verdict for 3 people involved in the 2016 Peachtree Mall shooting. Police say the 3 defendants shot Anthony Meredith to death as an act of revenge. A sentencing date is set for May 8th. And the ongoing drought in the Chattahoochee Valley is impacting local farmers. Many farmers are wondering if they'll be able to plant hay and other crops during this season. Farmers are waiting until they can get enough rain to plant crops, or they'll be forced to suspend sales and cut orders in the fall. Meanwhile, the Russell County Commission is working to make changes with the intersection at Highway 431 and Highway 165 by meeting with leadership in Montgomery and pushing to make the issue a priority because it's creating traffic problems for many drivers. For WRBL News 3, I'm Tiffany Maddox. Make it a great day.
Good Thursday morning. We're off to a chilly start again with the temperatures near 50 and a couple of clouds across the region. But expect more sun this afternoon along with seasonal temperatures climbing into the mid 70s. Tonight, mostly clear and seasonal again, temperatures near 50. We're going to be ending the week with afternoon temperatures closer to 80. We don't see high temperatures in the 80s until over the weekend as a dry weather pattern continues in the extended forecast.
To get the full story, visit SportsVisions921.com and click on the WRBL tab. SportsVisions 92.1.
At Cartoons Car Stereo in Columbus, buy it today, get it installed today. That's right, same day installation. Cartoons, Rockford Fosgate products, stereo head units, amps, speakers, speaker boxes, alarms, remote starts, navigation units, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and so much more. Get same day installation today. Call or stop by today for details. Cartoons on Veterans Parkway in Columbus.
Some stare at the horizon, others chase it. Introducing Cheyenne, a Western fashion brand for women raised on wide open spaces, rushing wind, and a steady heartbeat. Guided by a timeless country spirit, Cheyenne offers Western wear and fashion pieces with a curated collection of performance boots and clothing fit for your next adventure. Cheyenne, exclusively available at Boot Barn stores nationwide and at Cheyenne.com. Cheyenne, raised this way.
Listen, were you forced into getting a solar contract and now you just don't want it anymore? Maybe the solar company misled you. Or is your solar contract buried with hidden fees? Are you not saving the amount of money you thought you would on your energy costs? Don't worry. At the Solar Exit Hotline, we can help you cancel your solar contract, even if the panels are already installed. Our experienced legal team will review your contract and help you cancel it, possibly saving you thousands of dollars. You got to call right now for complete details. So listen, if you're not happy with your solar contract for any reason, we are here to help you cancel it. Call the Solar Exit Hotline now for immediate options to help you exit your solar contract. This call is 100% free.
800-908-7197. 800-908-7197. 800-908-7197. That's 800-908-7197.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd, 12 to 3 on SportsVisions 92.1. Now back to the SportsVisions morning show. Here's Carver Tigers legend DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the SportsVisions morning show. It's a throwback Thursday here, broadcasting from the PMB studios in beautiful Midtown Columbus, just a rock's throw away from the Aflac Tower. Richard, I tell you what, man, I really got a great deal out of that interview with John. I thank him so much, for sharing with the SportsVisions Nation. And like you mentioned before we went to the break, if we had one person that was touched by this interview, it was worth our time.
Absolutely. And that's what we're here for, is to share people's stories, make impacts on other people's lives. And, this SportsVisions morning show platform, we love sports. We love talking about sports, but we also can talk about life. And it ties into sports because with everything going on with Tiger Woods, and I admit the selfish person in me who's a sports fan, who loves Tiger, that wants to see him back on the golf course, the most important thing right now is for him to recover, to get his life turned around, because it's bigger than golf. And hopefully someday, if he wants to, it's on his time. If he wants to, he could come back and play golf again. But the most important thing is to get his life turned around.
And the great thing about it is, bringing these different personalities together. I know that John, being a recovering addict, and he's continuing to do, but he's also being a peer coach, recovery coach. He and his wife both are dealing with this each and every morning. He says he still has nightmares about drugs and all of those types of things that he's recovering from. But he's in a position to help folks. And then Tiger, on the other hand, that's the only totally different other side of the spectacle with regards to pay grades and money. I mean, he's a billionaire. He's a guy that, has properties all over the world, and money is not an issue, and he's powerful. He has the cell phone number of the president of the United States. But guess what? Both those guys, regardless of whether it's John or whether it's Tiger, you know what? They both have the same problem, and that is addiction. And that is that, it doesn't matter. And I say that because, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how much money you don't have. The bottom line is, when you're addicted to something or that you need that's not good for you, you need help. And I think, probably the biggest part of that is when a man has everything, it's hard. It's really, really hard to get him to understand, hey, you need a driver. Hey, you need to listen to this. Hey, perhaps you need to, rely on your faith. Those are some of the things that, Tiger's going to have to come to grips in. He's going to have a come to Jesus talk, or whoever the higher power is in his life or over his life. Because again, you can't do it by yourself. You can't do it by yourself.
In my lifetime, there's really been two athletes that have completely changed not only their sport, but just sports in general. Michael Jordan is one, and then Tiger Woods. We know about the car crash back in 2021. We know about the fight he had with his ex-wife, talking about that he had also had a sex addiction as well. And he also had other addictions, and battling through the multiple surgeries, the way he plays his game. I know that he's been on pain pills, but we look at him, and the average sports fan puts him on a pedestal because they know that he is just immortalized because of his ability and his impacts he's had in the athletic world. But we tend to forget that he is human, and we have to humanize him to know that the things that he is going through, that he needs help, and hopefully he has a strong support system and he's able to get the help that he needs. But yeah, you grow up and you idolize these athletes. You want to be like these athletes, but sometimes we tend to forget that they're just human beings.
Absolutely. And, you very well said, Richard. But again, one of my thoughts out of this whole situation is that, with Tiger, it's a blessing and a curse. The curse is, of course, he has to sacrifice his being, and we're using him as an example, and he is being magnified in the media, for all of these, things that are not positive. But the blessing is that he's capturing the imagination of folks that maybe they wouldn't normally listen. Maybe they wouldn't pay attention because, they thought it only happened to poor folks, or it only happened to middle class folks. But, here's a guy, again, I say a man who has it all for the most part. And in these terms and in this day and time, when you say have it all, that means that, finances is not a problem. He can write a check to do anything. According, he can buy a fleet of limousine. He could buy a limousine company to chauffeur him around. But the other part of this too is that the privacy that you demand and command when you are, you're doing these things. And I don't know, maybe there are other things that they just don't want other people to know. As they all say, the old man used to tell me, it's hard to tell on yourself, but you got to rise up above that, because now it's not just affecting you, it's affecting your family, it's affecting your friends, it's affecting a golf community that loves you dearly. So again, in no particular order, but maybe one of those 5 or 6 categories will be enough to impact him to want to do the right thing, to get the help. And again, other than and I know that he's not going to be able to get off of everything, but certainly, not putting other people's lives in harm's way, by being able to, take the drugs and get behind the wheel, or for that matter, I think that's what everybody's talking about more than anything. Because again, taking the medication for the pain and whatnot, but just knowing and when to not just jump in his vehicle and coming to grips with himself that, whatever you're doing, nothing's more important than the lives of the people, not just your life, but the lives that you save by not taking these chances.
And I'm hoping for Tiger's sake that this is not just a reaction to from being arrested. And so this is him making a decision to do this just to kind of cover the fact that he did get arrested for a DUI. You got to admit that you have a problem. Sometimes it takes getting arrested to have a light bulb go off, and where you wake up, it's like, I'm not living right. I need to get my life turned around, because not only is it affecting others, the public opinion of me is, something that I got to worry about as well. And so I hope that's not the case, but we're wishing Tiger the best of luck in his recovery process. And then, he could get back on his own terms, but right now we just want him to get better.
And for those people that are listening out there that are looking down their glasses and down their noses, like, thinking that they're holier than thou and this didn't happen to you. Hey, look, we all have passes. We've had past. We don't check all the boxes. All of us, we've had, again, even the, some of the holiest of the holy, have had those situations where they couldn't get off the weed or the bottle or whatever it is. And we all have made boneheaded mistakes. We've all been young before. But, the thing about it is that, again, coming to grips and understanding that, again, and me included, obviously, we've all had opportunities and that we're not proud of. But, the bottom line is now, again, helping those that need it. And, of course, being in a mature, more experienced state of mind, we can really, really reach out. And like I said, I can't thank John enough for coming on. It takes a lot of courage for that man to admit all the things and all his shortcomings and all his desires, being on the streets, walking homeless around the community and looking for his next hit or fix. Man, I tell you what, it's not easy to talk about it. But again, it makes him transparent to the point of, again, I can see in that facility that he's working, when he sits down and talks to people and say, hey, look, I've been there. I've done the same things that you're doing. But now, by the grace of God and the help of, this facility and New Horizons, I can, do this and however you want to frame it.
And it's giving us self-awareness to look at our situation. And I tend to ask myself, what is an addiction? And I'm telling you right now, This thing right here could be a borderline addiction for some people, and I'm guilty of this. I mean, sometimes we just got to examine ourselves.
Yeah. Richard, people who were not watching us on Facebook or
I was
YouTube,
holding up my phone.
He was holding up his phone, and he's very, very, he's correct in that. And of course, that addiction is getting younger and younger because some kids can't survive without their phones. I know that a lot of parents like that, their excuses are, and then maybe they don't say them, but that phone is the only thing that settles the kid down and keeps his attention span long enough for them to do whatever they need to do without worrying about saying, hey, stop that, put this down, do this and do that. And, again, that's detrimental to their health as well.
Now, how many times you've heard people say, well, I could quit whenever I feel like
yeah. That's Mr. Ego, Mr. Pride. Those of us, we know what that looks like. I can tell you what that looks like. But, again, the stronger person and the person with character, the person with courage, a person that's strong, a person that's everything that, you talk about. And again, I'm using this term in a very, very, correct way and a very, very imperfect way with regards to a man's man. You know it all. You're Mr. Know-it-all. You can't, yeah. But no, you don't know it all. And even the strongest of the strongest need help.
Yeah, we all do. Sometimes we just need help, but we also need that support system. And that's why you got to rely on your faith. You got to rely on your family. You got to rely on your friends because, you can't do it alone. And so that's why I think when we think of addiction, we think drugs, we think of alcohol, but there's other addictions out there. Addiction to pornography. There's addiction to phones. Food. I'm guilty of this, DJ.
I think I've been in that category.
I'm addicted to food too.
Yes.
So I feel like, we got to take everything with a grain of salt and understand that addiction is so much more than just drugs and alcohol.
Absolutely. And the thing about it too, and again, I don't want to keep harping on it, but I do, because again, I think that, the situation and the stars lined up. Tiger Woods, to make a better situation out of what has happened. We want him to get help, but this has opened up the eye and imagination of everybody, because you know what? Everybody should be talking about the Masters right now. And most of them will eventually revert back to that. But right now, for this instant, in this moment in time, Tiger has gotten our attention because of the trouble he's gotten in with himself. And now he's got to go and admit he's got to have recovery. And so this opening up a whole can of worms with regards to everybody coming out and taking a look at their lives and the lives of their friends and their lives of their loved ones to see if, in fact, that they can, be of service, be helpful to help them out of whatever it is that they're in, whatever that dark room is. You got to, that it's okay to share that with someone that you love, or for someone that you love. If you know that person's in that dark room and they're not coming to help you, it's okay for you to step up and be the bigger person.
Yeah, and our hearts and minds are on Tiger Woods because it just so happens to be Masters week, and they're teeing off about an hour ago, and Tiger Woods should be playing in the Masters, but he is trying to get himself right, and that's the most important thing, and that's why he's on our minds. I mean, this is a big news story regardless if it was Masters week or not, but this is a tournament that we want to see Tiger Woods play in, and that's why he's on our hearts and minds.
All right, Richard, let's go ahead and take our final break of the day. We'll come back and we'll wrap up the entire show. It's already hard to believe. We've damn near 3 hours in,
there we
man.
Go.
It is amazing. We've been having a ball here at the SportsVisions Morning Show. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you are listening to WLTC HD2, SportsVisions 921. This is the SportsVisions Morning Show.
You are listening to the SportsVisions Morning Show. SportsVisions 92.1.
Carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless gas that can be fatal. Don't use anything indoors that burns fuel, such as gasoline-powered generators, camp stoves and lanterns, or charcoal grills. Opening doors and windows or using fans isn't enough. Have your vents and chimneys checked to make sure water heater and gas furnace exhausts aren't blocked. If you feel sick, dizzy, or weak while using a generator, get to fresh air right away. From the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency.
We got out of Washington State, and I think a week after, state went on lockdown for COVID.
So then when we transitioned to Texas, it was very much so like, what are we going to do now?
Operation Homefront has allowed our family to make something of ourselves again in the world after the military.
It's completely changed the way our life is. It took us from a hopeless situation, and now we're homeowners. We have a savings account. I'm the first one to own a home out of my siblings.
Visit OperationHomefront.org to learn more.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. VA sends a weekly email to over 13 million veterans that's jam-packed with amazing resources. Subscribe for free at va.gov/vet resources.
The YMCA is just a starting line, for the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick below the surface. Y is the before work hustle, an after school home, a section of my block, a corner to call my own. With my Y, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. It's a million faces in a mirror, and everyone belongs. Find your Y. Join today at ymca.org for a better us.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
You're home for the Dan Patrick Show, 9 to 12 on SportsVisions 92.1. Now back to the SportsVisions Morning Show. Here's former Green Bay Packer DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the final segment of the SportsVisions Morning Show. DJ Jones and, of course, Richard Holdridge, Thrift Barringer. They kind of switch places there because usually you're familiar with, Thrift coming in on a couple hours into the show. Richard kicks everything off, but they switched the rule. They did a whole switcheroo around on me there and kind of fooled me too, but glad to have you in the studio, Richie. And again, Thrift, thank you for everything that you do for SportsVisions, and thank you for everything you do with Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. Speaking of which, Richie, you guys got a schedule. You got a couple of games today.
Yes, we do. I tell you what, I don't know how we do this. 7 games today. Starting at 1 o'clock, we've got Northwest Shoals, CVCC, baseball. And Matt Melton's going to be on the call over there with Mazzani Matthews. I will be on the call for Bevel State and CVCC softball. They got a doubleheader. We got Lee Scott and Glenwood. Noah Shelton will be on the call. Russell County, Rehoboth, newest member of our team. Evan is going to be on the call. How about Evan, man? We just keep growing on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Dave Plata is going to be on the call for Sean Pacelli at Diamond Field. And then we've got a double header, and this is going to be a tag team effort because it's starting at 3 o'clock. Thrift Barringer and Mike Frost, along with Austin Hicks, are going to be Westfield and Brookstone double header. And then we've got Harris County, North Side, Mike Peacock. And Ricky Rogers is the PA announcer, but he's going to be producing. But Mike Peacock going to be on the call for that. 7 events today. Man, we want to go for 8. Can we go for 8? We just got to get some more producers, but we can do it. It can be done. But yeah, we're crazy. But glad that I'm able to be a part of this incredible lineup today.
Absolutely. And of course, able to, have all of those kids on television, or at least have them on screen streaming live. And again, always can go back and check it out as well. How can they do that, Richard?
Yeah, you can go to Georgia Alabama Sports Live's Facebook page, YouTube channel. You can just pull up the archive. We're also found on Instagram, where we do our highlight of the week. We air some clips from the highlights from the shows and then highlights from the games. But I do want to say this, DJ, because I love the fact that not only are we growing, but we have young, energetic people who want to get into broadcasting that have joined Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We're talking young guys just fresh out of high school, like Paxton Holloway, Ethan Pettit, who's still in high school. I mean, that's amazing. Matt Melton, Tyler Dykes, Noah Shelton. We've got a lot of young talent, Mazzani Matthews, that they are willing to be a part of our team at Georgia Alabama Sports Live. It's been a true blessing.
True blessing indeed. And I tell you, but without in all transparency, when you say 7 games and it makes it, you guys are a great team. You guys have several. That's why you're able to do that. And it's, again, I can see it's not like one group or one set of guys doing all of those games. You got 3 or 4 sets of guys that are calling games, and might in some cases more than that. And that's a tribute to obviously not only the great job that you do, but that's the great order and the great confidence that you have in each other.
Yeah, and it was hard to believe that 3 years ago we were calling games off of Thrift Barringer's phone. And the name Georgia Alabama Sports Live didn't even come into existence until June of 2023. So we're actually coming up on our 3-year anniversary. I knew the vision when Thrift had that vision a long time ago. As long as we just continued getting people that are on board, that we would continue to grow. And now we are in the heart of Macon with Middle Georgia Sports Live. And who knows, the sky is the limit. And I'm truly blessed that I get to be a part of a team that gets to call games, something I've always wanted to do. And with technology changing, it is great that we have an opportunity to live stream high school events. We're also going to be streaming the Columbus Lions, streaming Columbus United FC, the soccer team here in Columbus, and it's truly a blessing. I'm glad to be a part of it.
All right. Now, here's one other thing that I'd like you to clear up. Well, since we are talking Georgia Alabama Sports Live, you got the Georgia Alabama Sports Live, all as it's written out. Then you have the GAS Live and 1 and 2 and 3. To give us the understanding of how we should decipher those on social media.
Well, we had to create multiple Facebook pages because you can't put multiple events on one Facebook page live at the same time. So we had it was basically our broadcast page. We changed it to Gas Live 1. And then we also have Gas Live 2. So we have 3 Facebook pages. We have the main page. But hey, all you got to do is subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can find all the content. When we have 7 events, we could put all 7 events on our YouTube channel. We can only put 3 events on Facebook. So you're going to get 3 out of the 7 events on Facebook. They're going to be on 3 different channels. And that's the way you got to do it. You got to, the reason why we started live streaming on Facebook is that's where it's just easier. A lot of people are following us on Facebook, but we don't have the YouTube subscribers like we do with the Facebook followers. So just go to YouTube and you can actually start the event from the beginning, and you could watch multiple events all at once. And, you could put YouTube up on the big screen. I mean, we've seen Georgia Alabama Sports Live in sports bars. We've seen them at the TV and the concession stands. I mean, so we've seen it in the lobby of high schools. So that's important that, we're able to be on multiple platforms like YouTube and Facebook.
My last question is that for the grandma, or grandpa, or auntie, or even the friends that are not social savvy with this, this new technology, where would you tell them to go to figure out how to understand how to watch their kids or watch their relatives on Georgia Alabama Sports Live?
Well, for one, if they don't have like a smartphone where they can get to an app, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out maybe the like a Roku.
Go ahead, Rich. Give out your phone number and have them call you.
Yeah. You can just email me. Holdridge79@gmail.com is my email address, by the way. But you do have smart TVs. You have like the Roku device that has the YouTube app.
Right.
That's another way to do it. Like, well, I don't have a smartphone. I'm old school. I got one of those Razor phones from 2007. But just, most TVs now are smart TVs that have the YouTube app. So that's another way to watch us on TV.
And I tell you what, whether it's Georgia Alabama Sports Live or just keeping up with technology, I had to go through this just the other day. And again, WOW is the cable service that I've had for umpteenth years. And obviously before that, it was before that. So again, what we found out is that WOW has decided, and I've been getting these letters in the mail and saying, hey, look, give us a call. We need to come out and convert. We're going to YouTube TV, and we're going to still be a streaming service. But we're getting out of the cable service business. And I'm like, finally, I called and set up an appointment, and the rep came out, and the guy was able to, say, hey, is your TV a smart TV? Yes, it's a smart TV. Well, we're going to go ahead and show you and put the app here, and blah, 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 the YouTube app. So no more WOW cable. So I'm making an announcement for the folks who've been ignoring and throwing those those letters in the garbage can. If you thought it was a cable bill, well, while I was trying to send you information to let you know that they're getting out of the cable business and they're going to go. They partnered with YouTube, and of course they're going to stay as far as the internet business. So you're going to get two bills. You're going to get that internet bill from WOW, and you're going to get the cable bill or from YouTube TV, or at least your streaming bill will come from YouTube. So it's really neat. I thought it was going to be. I was like, oh God, but I'm one of those old guys, a little long in the tooth. I never did go for all of that stuff. What was that? When you get to all of this stuff, you can adapt to your television, and you can pick up all these different channels because the cable companies were knocking us over the head. And for ESPN 2, 1, and of course the NFL Network and NBA TV, Major League Baseball Network. I weathered that storm, and I probably spent a hell of a lot more than I should have. But hey, man, we're in the sports business, and when I turn on my television, I want to know where my channels are. And what do you call those little gadgets that they were putting on, bypassing all of the, they were selling them.
Digital antenna or something.
No, it's another little name that they had, and I'm sure somebody's going to shoot it to me. But anyway, long story short, all of those days are over and done. Hopefully now that YouTube has stepped up in a big way, and WOW has partnered with them, so I don't have to have nightmares of speaking to people that I can't understand, trying to tell them, hey, look, man, I need you to reboot my service and whatever it is. You know how those of us WOW customers, you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, Richie, that's the end of the show, man. It's been a great day. It has gone kind of quickly here, but you hear the music, you know what it means. That's going to do it for this edition of the SportsVisions Morning Show. On behalf of Thrift Barringer, Richard Holdridge, I'm DJ Jones, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball.
You've been listening to the SportsVisions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. This is SportsVisions 92.1.
I tried to teach you, but I need some lessons. I need to give it all. I tried to live, but I can't. I don't know why you're the one. Turn me out of my mind.
Lori's Furniture Express, your express way to save.
It's springtime and a perfect time for you to visit Gorey's luxurious outdoor patio. Now, this is not your average big box store outdoor